Back to the upside we go this morning. Futures on a pretty good bounce right now, trying to get back to session highs even, coming off back-to-back down sessions heading into the weekend. Everybody had their pullback strategies dusted off this morning, I think, a little bit, but we might not get much of an opportunity here. As I mentioned, we're pushing session highs already, coming off a number of earnings reports last week. The major data points, including the jobs data on Friday, we'll touch on that. Lots of headlines over the weekend in regards to that jobs data. We got the Fed as well. Really no significant change as far as anything related to the Fed over the weekend. Interest rates, or yields anyways, back to the downside ever so slightly here this morning. It is going to be a little bit more quiet on the economic calendar this week. We do get some ISM data coming up over the next couple of days, services and PMI, S&P Composite PMI tomorrow morning, 9:45 ISM. Version of that at 10 o'clock. That's pretty much it. And then you got to go through to Wednesday. We'll get the Labor Department coming through with the initial jobless claims, a couple of bond auctions, but a lot quieter this week on the economic side of things versus what we went through last week. Still some pretty decent earnings to get through. A whole bunch of headlines to talk about this morning, including Tesla back in action again this morning with Chinese data coming through to the downside. Musk, meanwhile, taking home a truckload of shares in compensation as they try to make him happy for the next foreseeable future.
That's a lot, Brando. Here, $29 billion, 96 million shares, trying to circumvent that judge's order that kind of put the kibosh on that 2018 pay package. That was last year. There's a whole lot to talk about, as Brando mentioned. Palantir in view as they report this week, widely expected to be another blowout earnings report. And we are still dealing with the after effects of the Figma IPO, well received, one of the best ones in memory. We'll keep an eye on that. Bitcoin dropped below 115 there. I don't know if you noticed, Brando, on the weekend. Coinbase getting a downgrade today from Compass Point, as well as Wayfair reporting earnings in the morning. Good look for them. Chinese EV deliveries. Now we're starting to see winners and losers, Brendo. They're not all moving in one direction. Li Auto and NIO struggling, while XPeng really is the shining light there. And then, more labor disruptions at your favorite company there, Boeing. Yeah, Boeing, manufacturing side of things, walking off the job again. So we'll keep an eye on Boeing shares this morning. Not really doing a heck of a lot on that this morning. I mean, we talked about that going back a week or so ago, that could potentially be coming, and here we are. So Boeing under a little bit of pressure. Yeah, I was just checking 112. I mean, we're back to 114,366 right now on Bitcoin, but 112 coming into play in a bit of a hurry here. So some of the crypto names under a little bit of pressure. But I mean, as far as Tesla's stock goes this morning, kind of bouncing with the overall market, but at least they're trying here to appease him, to get him on board and get him satisfied, I guess, going forward. And Neil bringing this to my attention, I'm sure he'll cover it as well. Part of that pay package, Brendo, was this focus clause where they really want Elon to be focusing on Tesla and not take these kind of extracurricular activities, i.e. politics, i.e. fighting with Donald Trump. So we'll have to see. Yeah, more to come, obviously. More earnings to come, as we mentioned, guys. Palantir up next. Good morning.
Good morning. That's right. Palantir after the bell. IMS after the bell today. We had ON reporting this morning. Ooh. Boo. They're actually. Oh, really? Yeah, no, well, they're to the downside, so we can't say yay, but you're right. The board trying to, I don't know, light a fire under Elon Musk's butt. Like, whatever. He doesn't. I'm going to imagine that he's already rich and it probably doesn't matter that much. He's going to do what he's going to do. But as far as I'm concerned, you saw what happened on Friday. Tesla held at 300, so it's clearly post-earnings. It's held at 300 level. And yeah, I look for continuation. When it bounced off 300 the last time, it got to 330 in a couple of days. If not, I don't think we necessarily get there today, but certainly looking for the longs over there in Tesla. It's a big week. What's crazy is we had all that turmoil on Friday. We got as high as 90% chance at a cut in September. After, like, it was wild. Like, we're under 50%.
I think it should be 100.
And then to 90. That the labor data, and I know there's a lot of drama going on with that. Revisions happen all the time. It is not a new thing. But, man, the job market showed some signs of weakness, and that's all it takes for everyone to just assume the Fed is going to cut in September. So that's obviously big news. But on top of that, you're going to get a new Fed member at some point. No idea when President Trump's going to make that announcement, but With Krugler coming out, he gets to name somebody, and there's speculation that who he names could be the next in line. So there's a lot of drama that's unfolding, not just the earnings this week.
Krugler. Yeah, we're back from quite the weekend. We had a great turnout where we won the tournament there in Canada, 74 teams. It was absolutely fantastic. Gia got player. I got dumped for the first time. They dumped water all over.
They did the Gatorade?
Yeah, they did the Gatorade, but it was water all over. So that's up there on Instagram. So we had a great weekend. We had 5 games. My voice is going to be a little bit shot right there. And then thank you for all the nice comments here on. Here it is right here. So there's the trophy that we took down, but that's not, this is the girls team right here. So it was absolutely fantastic to be able to go there. We beat the defending, this is only the second year they've had a girls team, major girls team there, which is 11 and 12-year-olds. So Gia's only 10, but at the end of the day, we get added to that right down there. So High Park, absolutely fantastic. And thank you for all the support and everything on this. 148 likes. Thank you so much for that, and a lot of kind words here in the chat. So, yeah, I mean, my focus is still over there. We had great times. Girls had great pool parties. I actually let them go swimming on Saturday night. Yeah, it was a good time there. Sometimes they say don't, but we were back in enough time. And the girls were rocking and rolling. So that was great. We want to thank everybody at the Scott Tokasi tournament there, all for charity.
Nice.
And absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so we were really happy with that one. But it is interesting. I didn't realize Bitcoin got to 112. That's I want to buy more of this. So
right off prior highs.
Yeah.
The May high was 112.
I want to do more of that. My daughter, even though it's a holiday today, my daughter's over at hockey, so I'm waiting for that one. So what's up, Nimit? What's up, everybody there in the chat? And if you've ever heard of Toncoin, well, VERB apparently has. And right now we have another mover here, VERB on Toncoin news. What were they going to do? They're going to have a treasury right here. So if we just type into here and we type in VERB, you're going to get this VERB Technologies, and they're making here 558 private placement, first public treasury of Toncoin. So I don't know if Michael Noss is coming on or not, but
Tauntauns.
Maybe he has some interest in Toncoin as well. But
yeah, why not?
Should be a fun one anyways. All right, so that's Toncoin.
I don't trust those things, man.
I saw you went to the Jays game there yesterday. Oh no. Yeah.
No, I've told Sean this. Like every single time we go to a Jays game, my daughter either decides whether she wants popcorn or candy. And we're like 0-8 when she eats popcorn. You can't even make this stuff up. And every time she gets candy, the Jays win. So I'm like, we're up 1-0. We're like, what would you like to have? She's like, oh, I'd like popcorn. I'm like, are you sure? Because we keep losing when you get the popcorn. She's like, I want popcorn. She gets the popcorn. Within one inning, the score is tied. And of course, they end up losing the game. Not that it matters, but we're going to the playoffs anyways. So
yeah. So now you got her believing in all these superstitions, huh?
Well, also, I just prefer the candy to the popcorn.
Right.
I'm not a big popcorn person.
Really? I like popcorn at events.
Caramel corn I like better. That's just, it tastes better.
The caramel corn, get the little cheese. The Chicago mix, I think they have at Costco, something like that.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
All good stuff. Yeah, looking for some trades. Say Intel still underneath $20.
Oh, that stock sucks. It was a good short on Friday, Intel, but ugh.
I feel like it's a good short most days. That's stupid.
I think it's going to start turning into a long soon. Once it gets under $20, that's when it gets so bad that it's not, well, I don't want to say so bad that it's good, but so bad that eventually they stop selling it. It's always right around $19. So it's gone on for a while down at this price. It's getting there. It's bottomed out at 19 ever since July. So I think it's getting to the point where you almost want to start looking for the long. As I say that, there's 130,000 shares just sitting on the offer right now at 19.55, which is hilarious.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to go through everything. It's 2.5 million shares already today.
It's a little weird to already see someone willing to sell a massive chunk right there at the level 1, which is, that's Intel for you right there. But there's better chip names for the longs, I do think, today. But we'll keep an eye on this one.
Happy Civic Holiday to everybody here in Canada. It took me like 20 minutes to get into work, probably similar. I mean, obviously
it's
not 20 minutes for you, but
34 or something like that?
Yeah, it was great. I got in the car, I was like, what the? Because I was a little late, I had to shave, I was a little late waking up, you know, tough to roll out of bed. And flying today. So I was like,
try not to speak. The thing is, when there's no one on the highway, like it's easy to like not. You don't even realize sometimes. But I was pretty good about it. Although I did get in very, very quickly.
It's a good one.
Real quickly.
We got everything painted black in the background, except for that exit sign that you see right in the middle.
Yeah.
If you're wondering where to exit, you just go that way.
There we go. And you can't see the scaffolding. But you can barely see it.
That's good, yeah.
I guess I had to get up on the roof too.
I don't think Randy's in today. I don't think there's many people in today here. So we don't have our banana or the plum delivery or anything like that here today. All right, 8:40 there. How was the weekend up there? Sharif, how was the weekend over there, my guy?
I was supposed to go to Rochester.
What?
I was supposed to go to Rochester, Katina, man, to see the fam, but didn't end up working out. So we weaseled on up to Keswick, posted up by the lake there. It was nice. How was yours?
Lake is great. How was the air quality? Because
it was really good, Katina, man. Not as bad as, because by the water cleans it up a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. Yeah.
Yeah. No, mine was pretty eventful, as we had just mentioned there with the baseball. It was a lot of fun. So good times all around. Yeah, we've got coffees. Miami Joe's in the building over here right now as well, so we're ready to go. Andre's here. Yeah, your card didn't work, eh, Miami, over there? No, eh? You thought you were fired, or?
He was locked out of the building. Everything is.
Oh, the phone isn't set up.
Phone.
No, that would make sense.
The security system here, like you actually use your phone to get in.
How is the phone going over there? Oh, now we're liking. Was it been upgraded now? Upgrading Apple now?
Apple got smoked on Friday.
I know, because Joe put out the bad report about his iPhone.
Exactly. If Joe had just got his iPhone working, maybe this wouldn't have happened to Apple on Friday.
Come on,
I'm just saying. It's entirely
single-handedly bringing the stock down.
You almost broke 200 on that.
Ridiculous, Joe.
Come on, Joe.
Anyways, all right. I see Michael Noss is ready to go. I don't know if he's an iPhone guy or not, but he's ready there. Yeah, it's fingerprint and retina scan. Yeah, you're not getting into our building over here. It's very, very
big time.
Security is very. I mean, we used to have Tony watching the door, but now it's.
We stepped it up a little bit.
We stepped it up from there. So, all right, let's go back over to the desk and see what's going on with the crew.
Yeah. Okay, a couple things. Here's the 10-year. First off, as I mentioned, back to the downside we go. This morning, we did get briefly this morning early on back above 4.26. Back to session lows right now. This is a daily chart, so 2 days in a row is downside after that huge move going back to Friday. So not looking good as far as yields are concerned. Michael Noss wants to talk about pullbacks here as far as the overall market goes. Into a bit of one right now. I mean, it feels like it's a lot more than maybe it should be because it's only been 2 days, but maybe a little bit further to go. What are you seeing as far as technicals go here?
Yeah, and the main thing, first of all, Apple guy, MacBook, I got the iPhone, I've got the speakers, I've got the Apple TV, the whole thing. So
Michael Noss can do an Apple seminar if we want.
Absolutely, I could show you all the things, but yeah, I mainly wanted to do this just to kind of do my job, I think, as sometimes as a psychologist here, and just go, okay, if we are going to pull back, here are some interesting levels to do so. And wrote this last night, and we're already bouncing, so that might have been it. So I hope everyone survived the bear market of summer 2025, where I think went down 3%, but. In the future, here's some things that we're going to look at, and I think I have a rationality for why we're bouncing so much and why I think these things will continue to bounce. So the first thing I wanted to point out is, before all the bears kind of came and, got their bear caps on, is to just remind everyone that we just broke this all-time high. And I think a retest of this would actually be a little bit healthy. So I was actually hoping for, and we obviously could see the day hasn't even started yet, a little bit more downside to this, call it 6,000 or 6,100 level on the ES futures. And the reason for that is something that I know Neil is a huge fan of, is that when you get a break of resistance, which this clearly was, you often like to see a retest of that, and that's healthy. So what we're seeing, regardless of what the news is it's pulling us down or anything like that, is a healthy pullback that should retest this level. And the reason that these retests I think are super important is because it shows that anyone who is short, which is kind of a spoiler for what the last slide's going to be, is really underwater as we're hitting new all-time highs. And when we come back down to this level, that gives them a little bit of a break-even area to cover. And those are buyers. And at the same time, anyone who missed the breakout, when they see it back to that price, they're also buyers. That's why this retest of support and resistance can be so powerful. So that would, again, be 6,159 on the S&P 500 futures contract, or take that, so 650 on the SPY. The next chart here I think is an interesting one to take a look at as well. And these are just two anchored view apps. And Brian Shannon, again, shout out to him on his anchored view app work, but these just show the average price of average market participants. So what I've anchored to is the all-time high before we broke out. This is where if people started buying at the worst possible time before we had that tariff tantrum bear market, their average price sits around 5,800. And coincidentally, the people who were smart enough to start buying from the low, their price is also 5,800. So that if we break that first support and then we start to come down, this is another way to look for pullbacks. And even if we don't hit any of these levels, I think this is a good lesson for if you're in something and you're looking to buy a pullback, some ways that you can do it. Again, swing highs and swing lows for anchored view apps end up being really good ones, because there's a lot of people that are anchored to these price by seeing it in their brokerage account. So if you get back to those levels, sometimes you can find some support there. Next is just our good old friend Fibonacci. Not a massive Fibonacci guy, but I do like the kind of 50% retracement as a general zone. So I've actually marked a 61.8 and a 50% retracement. I don't think there's any magic to these numbers, but I do think, if you've moved a certain amount and you pull back about half that, give or take, it could be a good place to potentially look for support and a load up. That's also sitting somewhere around 58 to 5,600. And then the next chart here just kind of shows if you want to just use a technical oscillator. It's another way to time pullbacks. The RSI, we talked about how the RSI was overbought there for a period of time, and then now has come back down under the 50 level. That's considered neutral. So sometimes that's all you need, is you need to burn off that overbought condition in some way, shape, or form. And when you get that burn off of the overbought condition, that could just be your trigger to buy. Is not waiting for it to get oversold, but saying, hey, okay, we're no longer overbought. That might be a bit of a pullback. So one example here quickly is Bitcoin. I just wanted to show that if you'd anchored a VWAP to the prior high and used the all-time high breakout, you had both of those sitting right at the lows of 110. We've talked about this 110 to 111 area for ages as we waited for this all-time high breakout to hit. When we got that, we pulled back to that zone, and also the anchored view app, so the average price of everyone who's been buying this consolidation. So far, we're getting a pretty nice bounce from there. So last chart is just going to show why I think we are in this mode where every pullback is going to get bought. And I know this lower indicator is very messy, but we're really just laser focused on this green line. And this is the commitment of trader report. I talk about this quite frequently. You have to report, if you're a large speculator in the futures market, your position. You just have to by law. It goes back to people trying to manipulate markets. And the idea is that if we can see where everybody's positioned, we can see also the pain points of where everyone is hanging out. And you can look and see that this green line has been downward sloping and is negative the entire time the market's been ripping. So that means the average large speculator, the net position of the large speculators, is short and very short. and they didn't even really cover last week. There's a little tiny tick up that you can really not even see on the chart. So they have been short the entire time. They're as short as they've been in like 2 years, and they didn't even use last week to cover, which is just crazy to me. You actually have a little bit of a relief sell, and you're not using that to cover. So I think that any kind of up movement and is going to be spurred on by potential aggressive and forced short covering, and any kind of down movement, you'd hope they're going to be responsible enough to start covering these positions. And until this line kind of comes back up to the zero line, comes back up to neutral, I think you're going to continue to see that, because not only are the large guys not long in this rally, they're actually still short. And as long as they remain short and the market continues to go up, that's the recipe for a short squeeze. And as someone who's long myself, I'm certainly here for it.
A lot of headlines this morning pointing toward that similar fact, pointing to these couple of IPOs we've had being pretty frothy going back over the past couple of weeks, and then even some of the meme stocks catching a bid and getting into the rally as well. Is it a seasonal type thing where, call them institutional investors, or the big money might be on a yacht in Italy somewhere not paying attention, and therefore all the what have you, Redditors of the world will take control here?
You can call them degens. I think they like that. I think they wear it as a badge of honor. I think that's part of it. I also think that, so say, you're net short the S&P 500 and the market is ripping. Well, your two options are to cover the S&P 500 short that you're in. If you're large enough, you could actually start to push the market up. Or it could be to get long exposure somewhere else as a hedge. So I wonder if there's some of that going on where, they're underperforming dramatically and actually losing money on their overall index exposure, so that you got to take some flyers somewhere else. So this is why I think you're seeing a lot of junk or zombie companies or whatever you want to call them just get off the mat and start going. Because if I am, the market's up 20 some odd % and I'm losing money, I got to take a flyer somewhere else to try to get my performance up to make sure that my clients don't give me the boot.
As mentioned, though, pullback probably healthy here and much needed after the float to all-time highs that we saw over the past couple of weeks. Great stuff, as always. Michael Noss back with us after the close tonight. We'll see you then.
Talk to you then.
See you then, Michael. And look, I do like pullbacks into prior highs. And there's actually a few of those as we get into the watch list that we'll be watching for. Because it was we had a really, really good bounce on a lot of stocks on Friday, but I think we'll just talk about Bitcoin for a quick little second, because obviously, just if you weren't paying attention, pulling right back into that May top, 112, and bouncing very, very cleanly. And we'd had a little bit of a rough go in Bitcoin. It seems as all the juice has gone to a lot of altcoins, and then whoever happens to be doing a random treasury play, which the one this morning, of course, was VERB with the TON treasury. We've been seeing a lot of this recently, and you haven't had any constructive or positive action really in Bitcoin. At best, we've been going sideways. And when you look at it intraday here, it really established sellers last week, right at 67.5. And I looked at that, I'm like, really? If you're long bias, I just kept looking at the chart and saying, I'm not going to trade Bitcoin because I don't see any longs. Fair enough. But there was literally a short every single day at basically the same price on Bitcoin. And if you're biased, you'll end up missing things like that. So if it's going to be, I get it, we bounced off 112, but if we see a similar pattern, or I see a similar pattern, where you pull back into last week's lows like it did on Friday, right in here, and then held 65.8 here on IBIT, that to me, if it does the same thing and there's a wall of sellers, you just play the scalp short off of that range. So a lot of times this will happen. A guy was just probably waiting for this to break out or do something fun to the long side, and then you completely missed it for 4 days in a row, excluding Friday, because Friday a lot of things dumped. You had that same level of resistance. You want to play support and resistance. That was as clean as it gets on Bitcoin all week, more or less. If I start to see that happen again at this lower high, then I think you just start scalping that trade too.
And it's interesting, Michael's just talking about, potentially that 3% move. I mean, it's not a very big move at all. And we mentioned some of the, recent IPOs. We had Figma as well, down today, another 5% right here off of, again, I wasn't here Friday, but there's that move right off the jump to the downside again there. And, you know, we watch out to see that 130 area, which was the high. We'll see if we can get back to that. Started to rip up there into the aftermarket back there on Friday. Obviously, what a great IPO it was. We've talked about that. Was up another 15, 20% early there on Friday, and then it fell straight through. So, yeah, we'll look to see if Figma can hold this 110 area or so, 126, 128, a decent spot there to look for the short. We'll see if it can get going. 140 would be awesome if Figma got to that high side. So, yeah, there's just a lot of sort of froth in this market, but we've seen these IPOs hang around for a while, like Circle and CoreWeave, and sometimes, like, this is only day 3, so it's not like there's an impossibility here for this thing to rocket right back up to the upside. So we'll see if the buyers want to come in and test their luck today with Figma. Maybe Adobe is finally going to scoop up all the shares in the open market.
It'd be hilarious if Adobe came out and bought them at an even higher valuation.
They're just like, fine, you don't want us to do it, we'll just take 10% of the company or whatever. But yeah, who knows?
We got a super chat in here, and big shout out. We got Peter. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for bringing the XTMC post, where they pipe their own company, to attention on Friday. Adair Neal giving it a doubt. The both of you made me decide to take the gamble and buy before the close. Your greetings from the Netherlands. Shout out to you. Netherlands. So we get viewers all over the place, but I know we probably had viewers from the Netherlands, but it feels as if that's one of the first. Yeah, like they said, sometimes we saw this happen in the afternoon. You saw the stock run. And ultimately, you never know what's going to happen over the weekend. I think a lot of times, like, people get, and we were sort of talking about this one. If you look at it on the daily chart, like, it's not exactly a nasty looking chart.
EMC.
Like, it was bouncing, essentially holding this nice little double bottom after a pullback. Like, it's a nice pullback into 6. It looks like it's held that 6 for now. You never really know what's going to happen, but good look there on the metals company. These small cappers, as Michael was saying, there was a lot of runners, a lot of these runners almost on a daily basis. It just feels like there's a lot of catch-up happening in some smaller names.
I'm going to go over to the screen here with Adair for upgrades and downgrades.
There's a lot of really interesting names on both sides of the board, starting with Block, recent S&P 500 edition, getting an upgrade here from Maness, Crespi, and Hart, and up 1% so far this morning. Chevron with an upgrade from TD Cowen, tells the advisory group, upgrading Ralph Lauren this morning. This one actually a little bit red in the morning so far. And then we have Zevia up 9%, the natural drink maker, getting a Telsey Advisory Group upgrade. The downgrade side of things, Coinbase, one of the biggest earnings declines names from Friday morning, getting a downgrade here from Compass Point, though they are up on the session thus far. Shell with a downgrade here from HSBC Securities. Stifel giving a negative note here for Baxter. And last but not least, Vera with a downgrade from Wolf Research. Pretty interesting board, guys. Back to you.
It's hilarious that Block gets the nod in the S&P 500 over Robinhood, and then after it happens, like, nobody talks about them. Like, did we even mention Block once last week? I don't think we did.
No.
I'm like 90. Yeah, we did not. It's crazy. And guess what? It filled in the gap. Absolutely. There's your gap up. Hey, guess what? We're going to the S&P, and you've now filled in the gap. I guess that would have been a reason to go into the long. And this is just something that was talked about with Michael, that pullback into the prior high. Like 73 was a prior high. Where does it hold? 73. I guess if you're looking at Block today, look for the 73. But I promise you this, I will much more likely trade Robinhood once again over Block, because it's Robinhood and Block is Block. So what, Block? Robinhood is the name that had the ridiculous reversal on Friday. This one 100% caught off guard. And once it started going, it was ridiculously rapid. So I'm looking for some continuation over the 99 to 100 area on Robinhood. Forget about a V-shaped recovery. You got to give a different name to that, because whatever the down move was, it put that to the upside. It was ridiculous on Robinhood, and it was doing most of it alone all day. So who needs the S&P 500 if you're Hood? Apparently.
Yeah, good. I hope there was some good trades there on Friday. It looks like there was. Yeah, we haven't talked about a firm in a while. That's up 1.7% here. Oh, you know, what reports this week? Pinterest, you know, with great Reddit numbers for their advertising, with great opportunities for growth in that space. I think this family-friendly social media here, it's not really social media, but, you know, online posting can get those ad dollars. I think Pinterest is going to be an interesting name to come through, I believe, reporting tomorrow. So we'll have to see what happens here, but breaking through $40. Pinterest has my eye a little bit, nicely performing here, trying to base out 37 and hold, down 1% today. The sticky note's now out. I wrote down here on the note that I was a little bit nervous today. Something pretty simple, just feels like a slow day, be patient. The jobs report's still hanging over this market, in my opinion. We could wind up giving back some early gains. We got Tesla, Opendoor, Figma on here, Apple on here, and just a little bit of note there, what we think where this market's going. So, yeah, I don't know. I was trying to look at the TQs as well. But right now, the Nasdaq's up 1%. So as Michael said, we go down 3, back up 1 right here. Let's see if we can hold some of these gains. I don't know. I don't have a great amount of faith in that. But Apple got beat up, and they had a pretty decent report. But, you know, again, without China, without this market right now, Apple will continue to fall down. So we'll wait to see if we get a bid near $200 on that. There wasn't too much on that upgrade and downgrade board for me.
Not really.
That looked that interesting. I mean, Coinbase, always interesting. You know, huge moves in Coinbase over the last week. I mean, we topped out at, we were at pretty much those huge highs, I think it was year-to-date highs for sure. What a rally back in Coinbase. You want to talk about, people say like, oh, there's some stocks that went up 100% from the bottom. This bottom was 140. It went to 440, Coinbase. And then it's just been like 5 or 6, 7 days, like just boom, right into the downside again here for Coinbase. So this name, just because it's been so beat up down there, is something to look at, I would think. But again, I think a name like what Neil brought up, Robinhood and Webull and SoFi and just some of these other names are starting to, you know, also be a bit available to trade crypto. And I don't know if that's pulling back some Coinbase, you know, transactions and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. Coinbase is a little tricky one there. From 440 just 2 weeks ago up to down to 320 right now. So I think. And
they had a deal with JPM too as well. So it's like.
Yeah. What is SoFi's price?
SoFi's holding 21.5. I just called that up because I hadn't even, you mentioned SoFi, I hadn't even looked at SoFi this morning because like Robinhood moved so much on Friday that in this, I guess we're calling it, it's a group now, right? Like I look at it over Webull and the moves have been really good in SoFi, but it's just weird price action since the earnings. It fills in it goes ham into 25, it comes all the way back and then tries to go higher. It's spending no time in the same place, essentially. But everything is working off of the 22 level. It's like sell underneath, buy above on SoFi. But I still probably look at Robinhood a little bit more. Let's get an eye on the futures with Sharif.
62.64, guys. That's where we closed out Friday on the ES September contract. We lost at 6,300, but as you can see on the top left of your screen over here, we're actually at 6,300 right now, but it kind of feels like we haven't cleared it enough to be able to use it as support with the overnight high only being 63.10. So here's the deal. We're going to continue to use 62.50 as our support and 6,300 as our resistance until we clear it decisively. If we clear 6,300 decisively, we're looking at 63.50, Brendo, as resistance.
As always, let's get going. A lot to understand this morning and heading into this week. If you haven't done so, grab the watch list. Absolutely free every single day. Comes right to your inbox. All you need is your email address. Top link down below in the description will get you to the sign up page. And then it just shows up every single day. Let's talk Tesla to kick things off here. A couple things to understand here this morning. I was just reading through. Wedbush just came out with their opinion on this pay package and seemed to be happy, shockingly. Dan Ives is happy about Tesla. Right at session highs right now. There's also these Shanghai numbers to talk about as well. Again, if you missed it, 29 billion in shares going Elon's way.
It's a lot of money, Brendo. Let's talk about what happened here. So you'll recall a Delaware court back in 2024 voided Musk's $50 billion 2018 pay deal. That was early in the year last year, citing unfairness to shareholders and flaws in the board's approval process. Musk obviously began appealing the decision in March, arguing that the judge had made illegal errors and was looking to reinstate that package. And Tesla's board now has granted Musk 96 million shares worth about $29 billion. The shares carry an exercise price of $23.34, which is the exact same price that he was awarded under the 2018 deal that was kiboshed by the court. The new package is designed to boost Musk's voting power over time, reinforcing his influence at Tesla. And the shares rose, as you mentioned, Brendo, nicely here in the pre-market on news of the new equity award. Investors and Musk alike view voting power as essential to executing Tesla's long-term vision, and the board emphasized that this awards a balance between Musk's many commitments and ensures his attention to Tesla, as we were talking about that attention clause, so to speak.
Good point you made earlier on the China front. A lot of back and forth numbers. We got numbers from most of the companies over in China. XPeng, the bright light one, once again. I think these Chinese numbers for Tesla specifically priced in.
Yeah.
Probably for the next few months that are going to be downside the market, liking that today. Anyway, no Randy, as we said today, but he'll be happy about this. Rivian sales guys hitting a 10-month high. Going back to last month.
Oh, snap.
Not bad.
Get it, Rivian. Why not?
$12 stock.
Yeah. Rivian's been having...
Came out at 150 or so, Rivian.
It was a wild day, though. Like that... I remember the Rivian, it wasn't quite the excitement that we've been getting where you're halting to the upside. I feel like you used to get big moves on IPOs without it actually halting in the first 30 seconds, believe it or not. It would just be more structured to the upside.
Yeah, Figma never halted at all.
Fig did.
Oh, it did? Oh, yeah, you're right. It halted in the first 5 seconds.
But but that's a new thing. It's a new phenomenon to see these bigger ones halt. Like the small ones halt all the time, like maybe that Firefly Aerospace is the kind of the smaller one that I would expect smaller ones I expected with. But anyways, I don't know, I'm not really looking at Rivian, but we're looking at Tesla here. And I guess we're just built, at this point we know, look, declines in Europe, declines in China. Okay, we get that. They already had the bad quarter. The reaction as far as I'm concerned is the earnings low was 300. It bounced once, it bounced twice. And last time it bounced, the day after, I'm not expecting necessarily you have this kind of a day where we bounced the last time and went straight to 325, but I'm playing that side of the coin on Tesla. So dips into 305, break 312, maybe you see 300 again for a long, but that's the play for me. I'm looking the long on Tesla today. It already showed you what it can do when bouncing off this level post-earnings the first time. Even if it does half that move, I think that's good the second time.
There's been some requests in the chat for the sticky notes, so I just put it in there if you are part of it. Make sure you do hit the subscribe, the like, get involved with our chat. Neil and I, all the team answering questions in the chat, especially if you tag us and things like that. Look, I had Tesla in there, 305 dip by long. I think the confidence now in the stock with this Elon pay package, bullish sentiment here on robotics and AI. I mean, that's the note. Thank you, Sharif, for doing all of that. And I just think that, now that you're starting to get going here again on Tesla, it's just, did you miss the bottom? I don't think you missed a bottom, but it could be a recent low right now into $300, 301, 302 right there. So I think that there's a good opportunity to watch out for this long. And when I wrote it down, I was looking at sort of the 200 period moving average that was at 305 right there. There is a little bit of a top that could come into play. So we're going to see if this does fall back. I mean, we've been taking off since we wrote the note. When we started it, it was 308. So now you're up $2 from there. So I think there could be some good dip buy opportunities in and around this area, 305, 306. I mean, I think it's a gift if you get to 300 because then you could just punch out if you break this 298 low right down into there. So I up 2.5%. You guys know the way I trade. It's relatively strong. We got to go long, and we just got to wait for the right spot there. Wedbush reiterates outperform here as well. Just saw that come through. So Wedbush iterates outperform on Tesla. Price target, here it is right here. This is Dan Ives, the same guy that was saying, so this is the thing. Dan Ives probably got longer there now that he's reiterated his buy on Tesla right there. So $500 for Tesla outperform on that, Dan Ives. And he was talking last week. Remember Elon said, "Shut up, Dan," and stuff like that as they were going back and forth there. So, keep it going. What's up, Mike P. the Rider, and everybody there in the chat? I hope you're all doing well as we are around this joint right now. I might go get a lemon tea, though. All right. Oh, Palantir strong. I have nothing to say about that.
We got a couple super chats before we go back up to the desk. Curtis just happy to give a super chat. Appreciate you, Curtis. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of our viewers. And Mode in the chat here with a super chat as well. A beginning trader from Dubai wants to take a look at Rumble. You see support at 796, looking for an entry around 810 to 84 with a stop loss 770. Just want to know what you think about it. Thanks. I just gave you a little bit of an answer, which I can visualize. Like when I look at this, I can't see. I don't know what the catalyst here is on Rumble that gets you to bounce off of this level. You're probably, I'm assuming you're just looking at right in here and you're saying, oh, support at that level. Look, maybe at the $8 level. But if you really 740, 750, and then this is where I see obvious support at $7. Theoretical, if it tests down here, it makes some sense that you could find some support there. But actual support, I think, sits at $7. I don't know what the catalyst is. Under the 50, under the 200 period, hasn't really broken. It broke a downtrend and then resumed kind of a new one. So I'm not really sure I see a catalyst for this to go up. And it looks like the support's a little bit lower, at least historically. But one stock which has a very defined support line for this week is Palantir.
The chart's actually looking very similar intraday anyways. Palantir just tested session highs, coming back in a little bit right now. But earnings to come after the close tonight for PLTR.
Let's talk about what the market is expecting here. Brendo, we're expecting Q2 revenue to come just shy of $1 billion, $939 million, which would be a 39% year-over-year increase, with free cash flow should be about $330 million. Again, a 35% increase. Operating income projected to be $404 million, well ahead of last year's performance. So we'll keep tabs on that. Here's what we're expecting for their different markets. U.S. remains strong. We're expecting revenue to bump up 38%, with the UK growing at 29%, with international markets about 8% there. Core government and military contracts still make up the bulwark of Palantir's revenue. They have multiple U.S. Army deals, Brendo, but that's all merged into a $10 billion agreement called the Titan AI program, highlighting Palantir's lead as a software integrator. And the Titan, just to give you an idea, it's an AI-driven battlefield data analysis unit for soldiers. It builds on both the hardware and the software side, and it includes L3 Harris as well as Northrop Grumman involved in that. It marks a new program in the U.S. military procurement, with software leading the way. Shares, they're trading at around $155 with endless kind of in disagreement. There you've got price targets from $40 up to $178. It's trading at 81 times, though, guys, expected earnings per share for next year. And they have a history of beating. They've beat the last 14 of 18 times for their quarters. And the average move post-earnings, Brendo, a light plus or minus 16%.
I was just going to say options market is going to be closely watched this afternoon, I think. But coming off a bit of pullback at the end of last week, I mean, this thing was pretty wild on Friday. Considering how weak the overall market was. Ends the day basically neutral, back within the range, guys. But nice gap here this morning ahead of the report for Palantir.
Look, I mean, I take.
We were joking at who the $40 price target was.
Oh, and you said
I was like Scion Capital.
Yeah, Michael Burry. Thank you to Day Trader LA. What's up, Day Trader LA? Day Trader Law. Right there. Coffee Money with a K and MONIE. Thank you so much for that. That $25. Maybe we'll go get some coffee around here. We don't have any breakfast here today. So, Sharif is upset.
Fruitless.
Go get this man a bowl of eggs. You know what I mean? I mean, we have $25 right there, but boil them up a little bit. Shout out to Sharif over there.
Get a couple eggs for that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we always bring eggs over here, and it's a great, tasty treat in the morning time. Thank you for that, Day Trader LA. It really means a lot. No, I think the key from Sharif there was just that 14 of the last 18 quarters they beat, right? And the stock average, I mean, the average move there was plus or minus 16%. Oh, geez. All right, now we have to go get something.
Okay,
Joe,
now.
just go buy everything on the street right now. That's a hunch right there. Thank you so much. That's $125 now for breakfast.
Buy a lot of
money.
Timbers for that.
You know, we also don't, you know, just to let you know, Day Trader LA, we also don't have lunch today either. You know, no. Don't, there it is. I'm always working. I'm always working. Shout out to Day Trader LA right there, bang. But no, in all seriousness, look, you got to like the stock. This is a huge AI play. It's a huge data play. It's one of those things where regardless of what that number comes out, I think they're going to put out a big beat and a big guide, but I'm not really getting out of any shares. You know, I think a prudent investor may do that because you're at these highs with the market down 3%, Palantir's acting like it's not. Back up here, not that market's down 3% today, but there's the pullback, there's the pull up. So I just, you know, there's going to be some short squeezes probably in this name, especially if they beat. There's going to be a lot of traders that look at that PE number and be like, wow, this is primed for a short. And you know what? It is. If they don't come out with a good report today, then yeah, it's going to be a problem. PLTR. I just want to find out what that short float is exactly right now. I remember we looked before.
Guessing.
Yeah, 2.5. So right there. So Palantir conference call today. Earnings 4 to 4:30. Conference call at 5. You know, its PE is ridiculous. I mean, we have 670 here. PE right there of 277 as well. Forward PE. So it's absolutely blowing its face off as far as that is concerned. SAP, CRM, these guys PE 40, 22, 34, Adobe 14. Like, so there's better value plays in there, but there's not a better play that has a better story. So I think you just got to appreciate what Palantir's been doing. You know, it's not a Coinbase, but it's a 65 up to 157, almost a triple there. Not almost, I guess it's only 250%, but from that bottom to the top right now, there is some froth in this and it could easily pull back. So I would just say, if you are nervous about this, get out now and hold some for that huge move that's going to happen tomorrow. I really do think that this earnings report, we'll check it out on Market Chameleon, plus or minus probably 10 or 11% there today, if not a little bit more. It's going to be violent. It's going to be wild there. I think this is going to be probably one of the bigger movers that we've seen this, in my opinion anyways.
Well, HIMS is tonight too.
Yeah, HIMS, but HIMS is not. I mean, the valuation.
Oh, that's
Palantir. No, they both have crazy valuation.
No,
but
is not that big.
Oh, no, the
valuations.
The PE. Yeah. The market cap, though, is what I was sort of looking for there in Palantir. Where is the market cap right now at these days? I'll have to. Oh, there it is, right there. Oh no, that's not it. I'll find it for you.
Why wouldn't they have the market cap at the top?
I don't know. I don't. I want to say the number, but I'm not sure what it is. Okay, we'll find. Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah, it's right here. My bad. 364. I was going to say 400, but we're not quite there. So 364 market cap, and we're going to look at what HIMS is. I just want to see what this is, just out of interest. Yeah. So their market cap, Neil, 14 billion. So yeah, HIMS could definitely give it a ride here today as well. 37% short float. This is a completely different beast altogether.
It's a different beast
right now. But yeah, so that's what we're doing here today. I like Palantir, but I don't have it on my watch list to trade. I think it's just a wait and see. I mean, 154 bottom looks pretty good.
I don't think we get to the bottom of the channel on Palantir today. This is going to be a post-earnings test. This stock is just it's been a long this entire time. On the daily chart, this is one of the easier channels to draw. And you buy it off the bottom and you've been winning, and then if you sell it actually at the top of the channel as well, and this is, like I said, it's easy to draw because you're just going from like April and then the May high, and then it's very obvious after the fact. You could, like, in theory, I mean, you could have, Palantir could go $5, $6 today. And if on earnings day it tests the top of that channel, that'd probably look for a short, but it's right in the middle, which means a no trade for me. And then you come back and look at it after, and another super chat from Day Trader LA. Oh my goodness, another one in there. Appreciate you. Oh, here he goes. Neil forgot my name. I did. Day Trader LA. My bad. It's okay. Follow me on the gram. Same tag if you want money giveaways. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Day Trader LA. But Palantir for me, this is going to be a stock which 100% gets traded tomorrow, win, lose, or draw. But unless we get to 160, like the low to mid 160s, I think I step away from it today.
Man, crazy, unreal. Here's Fig. Nothing new to talk about as far as news. Just the wild action of the first couple of days here for Figma. If you missed it, huge IPO going back to last week. 115 seems to be a bit of support here, 112 to 115.
Yeah, it's putting in lower highs there, Brendo. Interesting chart. In case you guys missed it last week, let me kind of update you. So this stock, FIG, soared 250% on its first day, reaching about $59 billion market cap. The company has become one of the most successful IPOs in recent history. It leverages AI, Brendo, to simplify design workflows, which helps eliminate the need for the technical skills. The platform allows users to kind of collaborate, prototype, generate UI elements, all with prompts, no coding required, so schmucks like me can weasel in and use it. They also have huge enterprise adoption. They're boasting about 13 million users, and they serve 615 Fortune 500 companies, including top names like Google and Softy. Paid customers are growing fast, Brendo, and revenue jumped 48% year over year, up to about $750 million last year. We still don't have 2025 numbers. The enterprise traction is a key reason for the stock's premium valuation, and the IPO, oh baby, was it oversubscribed with demand far exceeding supply, pushing the price up quickly. Valuation, though, Brendo, sky high, trading at 59 times 2025 earnings.
Not the first one this year, the first IPO this year that has done this, but we'll see how CoreWeave. We'll see how this plays out for Figma. I would just keep my eye on Lockheed Martin here. This is a first. I think I've ever had to say this on this show, but this is the headline. I'm just going to read it. Lockheed Martin hints at secret aerospace prototype with magical new tech.
I don't know what to say.
I don't even know what to make of that.
I think Donald will like that headline, though, 100%.
What the hell is
Magical new tech from Lockheed Martin, guys.
Yeah, that doesn't sound desperate at all. Magical new tech. Anyways, so I don't even know what to make of that with Lockheed. They've been getting beaten up, and there's better names in the space. Northrop's been a better name to look at. Figma, 110. Okay, so like 110, triple bottom at the 110 level. It was obvious on Friday. The other thing, you have to be willing to remove liquidity on this stock. We talked about this on Friday. There was a good reversion trade off the volume weighted average price where it broke the trend line. And if you hit it right away when it broke the trend line, great. If you didn't punch the bid right away, then you were staring at like $1.50 lower, and suddenly that skews your risk to reward. So if the liquidity is there, you want to jump in and grab it because the volume decreases every single day after earnings. After the IPO, it's just a little bit less today, Friday, and then probably a little bit less today, and then it gets less tradable from a desirability standpoint. So yeah, looking at that 110, you got a flat bottom break, and then if it does a reversion like it did on Friday, same thing. I'll play it either direction off that level. But it has to be a clean reversion, or we're just taking the flat break. And we paid for locates as well.
Yeah, today, though, we want you to focus on that QR code. Make sure you do scan that right there. VinFast delivered over 35,800 EVs in Q2 of 2025, marking a 172% jump from last year. That brings their first half total to more than 72,000 EVs, up over 220% year over year, with stronger sales usually in the second half. So that's nice. They're on pace to easily double 2024's 97,000 units. They're also crushing it on two-wheelers with nearly 70,000 e-scooters and bikes sold in Q2, up 432% from a year ago. And with gas-powered two-wheelers being phased out in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City by 2026, the growth potential looks huge for VinFast. Check them out on the Nasdaq under, of course, symbol VFS. Scan that QR code right there on your screen to find out some more informazione. Okay, so look, again, we are actually up here as well on Instagram, so you can go over and find out if you go, that's from yesterday, shout out to High Park there again. But if you go over to Instagram, you will be able to find my story here. Oh, there you go. There's a good picture, actually. There's the champions all holding up the trophy right there again. 76 teams. There's my lovely daughter. What's up? And then here's the sticky note. So you can go find the sticky note now up on Instagram at actually, I'll just put that. I don't know if that's going to work if I put that through there as well, but we'll go try in the chat. Go find it right there. I have Figma on here. And I just wrote down, let's break this 110 out of here. So I want to go short. I want to go short right there at 110. you know, this comes out at $33. It rips up. We know that there's a lot of love in this space and in the name. Use software as a service. It hasn't been super great. Lately, we've seen Adobe and some of the competition get really hit downside. I just don't think it's a great. I think the valuation's too high, and I don't know anything about the space or anything like that. It's just when a stock comes out and then gets tripled, and there's a lot of sort of euphoria in it off of IPOs. Neil and I were just talking about IPOs and how they can run up and then run down, and you know, it still could have its core weave moment or its circle moment where it does take out this high as well. But I'm a short anywhere around here, you know, like 135 up to 140. We may even look at this short around 126. Thing is, if you short this 126 to 128 level, you can get out if it breaks 130, right? And so I think you want to give this a little bit of room. I wasn't here on Friday, so I'm not sure about what liquidity looks like on the level 2, but I like a 110 break, and I think it's worth taking at least a shot at that. The liquidity looks fine here in the pre-market, over 1 million shares traded. So I'm going to put in a stop order to run that 110. So if we get down to the 110 area right there, we're going to run that price. So let's wait to see if it does hold. But, you know, like I said, we're here to put on something on Figma, and we don't have to, but it can get lower. So let's see if it holds that 110 area. It's given it to us a couple times and showed its face. Let's see if it wants to break it. Figma breaking through 110 is on today's note.
We're trying to leak back to the downside here a little bit right now. There's IBIT coming off what happened over the weekend. This obviously doesn't show the action on the weekend. I'll grab the chart of Bitcoin, but 112, 110 coming into play over the weekend. We're back to about 114 right now, but looking a little bit weak right now.
It is, Brendo. Yeah, I was watching it over the weekend. I always watch it to see how the market's looking to react, and yeah, caught it below 114. Let's talk about Coinbase. They reported last week, and it was not good. Compass Point taking the opportunity to downgrade them from a neutral to a sell and lowering the price target from 330 down to 248, basically saying that they don't like a lot of the possible headwinds. The stock is still up 26% year to date. We'll recap the earnings, EPS beat, but revenue miss, especially transaction-based sales. Transaction revenue, which is a key segment, fell short of consensus. Analysts see this as a red flag amid what should be a tailwind from the ongoing crypto rally. The analyst at Compass Point, Ed Engel, cited weakness in earnings trends in Q2 and Q3, and he sees a choppy Q4 coming up with not many tailwinds here for the August-September seasonality. Retail interest in crypto also being apparently fading here, with stablecoin rising in competition. It's seen as a threat to Coinbase's long-term revenue share. Stablecoins are pegged to fiat and increasingly crowding the field and could cause margin compression. And coin trades at around 44 times forward earnings, Brendo, so already richly valued.
If you go out to the daily chart here, rewind, go back to 8:30. We were talking about this with Michael Noss as well. He was pointing to this high, the break of that high, and then the bounce, guys. Nice hold over the weekend anyways, if this holds today.
I thought I made a tea and I didn't even.
Well, you got to.
I didn't even have any of this.
You got to get that voice preserved. Just very quickly before we jump in there, I think we had the imbalances just come.
I was looking at Nvidia as a sell on that
Yeah,
imbalance.
Nvidia is one. Whoa, no, that's NCNA. Nvidia is 400,000 to the sell side. ETH about a 400,000 buy. Joby 350 buy. BBAI. BBAI is a 300,000 buy and balance literally every day. I don't even know what's up with that. But we talked a little bit about crypto, but in this space or the adjacent area, I'll be looking at Robinhood today. After what we saw on Friday, it was, you know, pretty nonsensical in the low to mid 90s where the bid came in and how heavily it did come in after what was solid earnings and then got dumped anyways. So 99 was the prior support level. I'm looking off that. Like, as long as we're above the 99, looking for a bounce long on Hood, if we lose 99, you've got quite the floor underneath. So it'll be Robinhood that I look at out of that group. And we didn't really talk too much about the chips. I do like some AMD today after what we saw on Friday. This one's gapping above the Friday high. So if you look at the prior close, 172 to 174, kind of a dip zone on advanced micro devices.
Yeah, so, okay, crypto pullback. So, yeah, look, I mean, I think that we'll have Joe here. These guys will talk about Ethereum, and so will we, and we'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about all the names. We got that TON move today with VERB starting to go. So we only have 2 minutes. We should probably get back. But there's a nice move to the downside there with Ethereum that happened on Friday. Obviously, we saw Bitcoin touch that 112, a little bit back higher now, so is Ethereum. So we're just going to have to wait to see if there's going to be any love to anything like this. this, man. That's 28 break. You know, that's where we sort of were at the beginning of Friday. Let's just watch Ethereum right now. You're over the 200 period, you're over VWAP, and you're over the 50. So if this market wants to go, I feel pretty strong that this name, again, using the 200 period should be a decent look. So, all right, 2 minutes left. Let's go find out if Wayfair has what we need.
Real quick, we forgot to mention this one as well. Just worth keeping an eye on Lyft. There was a headline with Baidu this morning. Lyft teaming up with Baidu.
Ram.
I think it was Joseph's throwing stuff. So watch that. Anyways, yeah, let's talk about W up here nicely this morning, holding on to gains right at 73.50, 17% short as of July.
Yeah, good report here, Brendo, on $3.3 billion of income, a 5% year-over-year increase, excluding the German market. They grew 6%, with U.S. revenue being $2.9 billion, international revenue, a $400 million gross profit, about $984. They reported positive net income as well, with net non-GAAP adjusted EBITDA and diluted EPS both beating expectations. The CEO emphasizing the leverage in Wayfair's model and called it the highest growth rate they've had since 2021.
Thoughts, guys, for these?
That short flow, you know Wayfair can go. The thing is, it's gapped so far above the prior high, and all we saw was gap fills on strong names. I'm looking at Roblox last week, so I'd be very, very cautious with this. But if you get anywhere near the 69 level, I think pullback into the prior high makes sense. The pullbacks have been deep on some of these big time runners, so being a little bit patient on the dip makes sense.
I have Open Door at $3. If Open Door breaks $3, that's been a high. We'll wait to see. Come on, load. All right, we only have 15 seconds. But yeah, if we can get going, they're going to receive Nasdaq compliance. Open Door on my mind. Tesla on my mind early as well. Palantir at pre-market highs. All right, only 10 seconds. There's Adara right there. What's up, Adara? All right, 5, 4. This pre-market bell brought to you by Trader TV Live. 2 and 1. There we go. Hit that. And we are now
with the new mallet
open right now. Oh no, we just went long on Apple, it looks like there. So Apple coming long right now to start the day. Let's see if we can get some love here in Apple. And there goes Apple, Neil. Nice little move to the high side. Let's see how high we can fly right now on AAPL. We just got out of a little bit there with a nice little bump early. There's 204.50. This is a name that we didn't get to. It's on the on the sticky note here to get going off of some of those lows in Apple. But it's coming back just a little bit. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, and immediately Hood downside, Tesla downside, Figma downside. So Hood broke the 100 on the way to 99. Tesla's at 306. We're looking 305 dip on Tesla, and Figma at 112 and still falling, looking like it's going to tag that 110 rather quickly. First look, it might be, maybe not Robinhood at 99. It might be Figma at 110. Before anything else, already at 111. Yeah, it's already at 111. I thought
I have that short ready.
Hood was real close, but Figma getting there just a little bit faster. NVIDIA not doing much. And remember, I was saying that right at the end, AMD does not pull into 72, but it does tag to 74.
Yes, Apple. There goes Apple right now. Get going through 205 right now. This is a big, huge trade to start off here the day for me. Big one off the sticky note. There goes Apple breaking through 204.50. It's a level we wrote down. It's right here. We like it. There it goes, man. Yes, sir. Bang. This is a monster right here, Neil. We're doing it again, man. I hope. Again, you know, like this is what we're talking about every single day. We're here to do it. It's a dollar club, easy, right off the jump there for Apple. Nice move higher there as we go. And again, you know, I punched it with shares, right? So we made it right there. Day is done. It's 9:32. You know, I'm not gonna. It's a holiday around here. My daughter's playing hockey. My wife's messaging me about that right now, anyways. But there it goes. Nice move up there for Apple. We'll wait to see what Figma's gonna do. Tesla as well. Right now, Tesla's coming back into the level that we like as well. But wow, it's Apple, man, and an Apple a day puts this P&L away. It's a nice move right there for Apple. Huge move to the upside. Tesla coming into a spot that I like as well.
Yeah, Tesla screaming down into the 305 level as we speak, as this stock is not catching a bid just yet. Figma is about to break 110. It's at 110 and 25 cents. So one of these, I thought Figma was going to happen first, the way it was screaming, but Tesla seems to want to get to that. Why is number locked off? AMD 174, that's not holding up. It looks to me like it's going to be Tesla or Figma first. Figma just broke.
I didn't even come close to getting that.
No chance. Holy crap, that really gapped through.
I didn't even come close to getting that Figma.
That went straight to 108.
Yeah, I only crossed down 50 cents. I don't know what you were crossing down, but
not $2.
Yeah. Oh, there's Apple. But by the way, the Apple trade really, guys, has sent I don't like, that's it. Well, we don't really need another trade today, but the thing is that we're still looking for them. That Figma, what a move. And again, you know, you guys got to do what you got to do at the end of the day. But here's the trade right there. Apple 204.50 long, so we have that. There's the Figma 110 short. We got to wait for Tesla dip buy at 305. So let's go have a look to see what that's doing. Bye-bye, Figma. Ciao, bello. All right, Tesla right here. All right, so well, it gets into 305.50. I'm bidding 305.50, honestly, hand to God. 305.50, we are bidding that level. We miss it by 5 cents. That is crazy. What a day that would have been if we caught that right now, man, on Tesla. That'd be another $2 upside in the money. So we'll just sit here and see if it comes back. But a great look there for Tesla. Comes right into our level and unfortunately was not aggressive enough. Missed a $305 stock by 5 cents. So we'll wait for it. But man, Apple, I should have held on to all of this. Like this is now going. We have just over a quarter left of Apple right now, and it is rocking to the high side. There goes Apple. And again, I thought that if the market was going to rebound today, Apple didn't have a horrible quarter, and there they go. So right move on that one for AAPL. This is now $1.40 in the money, and we had a 204 stop. So it's working out for us. But there it goes. Yes, we just got those 80s. So nice fill there for Apple. And again, thank you so much to Eddie and to everybody there early today for those super chats. And then the other trade that we had was Open Door. So let's go find out what Open Door is doing now, $2.25. So it does not get going. I mean, I had thought that with that Nasdaq compliance there, they had to go 12 straight days over $1, and they did. Yeah, it didn't give the action that I'm not looking for it. I was just, if it was there, we were going to take it. And the biggest and the baddest of them all, we'll wait to see what Alex Karp and Palantir and Co. Have to say after market. Always risky day trading something pre-market, and then especially day of or day after earnings. But we just made brand new all-time highs today on Palantir. So that was 160.89 was past all-time highs. We got to 160.92. But oh boy, man, Apple really, really a huge monster trade for me there off the open. So we're really super happy with the way that that's panning out so far. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, that's the thing. So what's up, Canto Lambo? We didn't talk about Apple. I got to do what I got to do here. We follow a board. But if you watch the sticky note, there's 4 names on here: Apple, Tesla, Open Door, and Figma. And where can you find it? You can get it on Insta. You can get it on Twitter. So those are my plays, and so far so good there. 9:35, Neil. Some numbers coming out soon.
Yeah, we'll have numbers coming soon. Obviously, look, Figma 110.
That was huge.
Look, if you could have gotten filled, I'm not sure what price I couldn't tell you what price you would have gotten because we didn't get the fill there. And we had mentioned liquidity. Liquidity was a little bit suspect on Friday, so it's entirely possible that there weren't any great opportunities to be able to grab that long. Or short, sorry, through 110. If we get a bounce, maybe we'll have a look at it. I just got Robinhood did a ridiculous move on the way back. So I'm wanting to play any long that comes back through the 99 level, at least after what we saw on Friday, and I'm looking to give it back to about $98.50 every time we get there. Let's go over to Adara, the other name to watch, everybody. NVIDIA about to break out those highs.
Oh, wow.
Keep an eye here in JOBY to completely switch things up and go to the smaller cap retail side of things. JOBY, Joby, nice push here off the open. It's going to be acquiring Blade's passenger business for up to $125 million. This one does have a market cap around $13.5 billion. Short float of around just under 15%. So decent short float here for JOBY. Again, as I believe mentioned earlier, we do have numbers at 10 a.m. That'll be the U.S. factory orders month for month. I will cover those for you guys. No numbers at 9:45. Back to you.
Right. I'm just going to tweet this out. I mean, there goes Apple. We're now $2 in the money as it goes higher there off that. So a new position taken in Pepsi, I just heard. There, I'm not sure. Gordon Haskett, I don't know where he's from. But there it is, man. Pepsi with a little bit of a bump up there, maybe some activists. I'll have to go into that and look for you guys a little bit more. But here we go, man. We're looking for this $2 club member right now off of a big one again for Apple. More outs there at 206. There's the break that we talked about. and there it goes. So I was going to look at Amazon today as well, because this is a name that I want to buy a little bit more of in my own account there, but Amazon dropping again here right off the open. What a huge move for Amazon. They gave back their whole month, the month of July, gone right there at Amazon based on their report, which I guess was not a great guide. So Amazon right there back into 210 and change. Really love the stock, but
the punishment for Amazon, because you weren't here on Friday, it was entirely the cloud. Cloud growth was in the teens, and it was over 30% for Google. It was over 30% for Azure. And so that's all, as far as I'm concerned, there was nothing else bad about that report. You're just disappointed in the cloud for Amazon. I still like it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
You're a sucker to your comparisons. And another Mag 7 name blew it out the water. Still, look, Amazon has a million things going right for them. It's just everyone was so harped on that cloud number. All right, so Robinhood's trying to get past the 99.5. It did bounce off 99 eventually. Oh, Tesla. All right, sorry, let's go over to Tesla.
at 305 finally?
No.
Way gone?
Yeah, it's way
Can't wait, I missed it by 5 cents.
Yeah, Tesla.
$10. Oh.
No, I was at 20s. I wouldn't have gotten filled. 22 actually, but Tesla looks like it has a chance to break out the high, so I'll take a shot at the breakout. The dip buy was so much better, and the dip buy was pretty ridiculous as well on Friday, but just be careful because like the first move was to fail the break on Friday in reverse. So if we do not hold this breakout above 311, I would get out right quick. Come on, I almost said Sigma. Figma, 103. And continuing to drop. There has not been a green candle on the 3-minute. This is refusing to bounce whatsoever. Yeah, this is what can happen, these high-flying IPOs, everybody. There's not much. 100 was an obvious level on the first day. It's where it bounced around VWAP. So I suppose you could have a little bit of a dead cat bounce off 100. It's down 15%, so it's a SSR now. Maybe you get a little reversion off the 100 level, but that's about it. Robinhood's going, but that's an unbelievable. I guess it was worth crossing $2, I suppose, because it just gave you like, you would still be $5 in the money if you crossed down $2.
Ifs and buts, I know. Okay. Let's look forward. What else you guys want to talk about? What's up, Day Trader LA? Thank you so much for those breakfast talk right there, getting us hungry around here. All right, so let's go see what's going on with Donkey Kong. DraftKings, they're 44 and change right now. So, I can answer this. What's up, Papacito? What's up, Papacito? Right there, 35.90. Hello. Hi, friend. Wait a minute, I got Apple shares going on over here. Apple's taking a little bit of a dumpity dump right now. But we only have about 15% left, maybe a little bit less than that right now. Can you say what kind of trading you're exactly doing? Yep. I mean, is it either options or futures, or just buy a ton of shares with the ultra buying power? So we all choose, thank you so much for that, Papacito. We'll all choose, how many shares that we want to trade with and how much buying power we want to put into each individual name. We're on a prop floor right now. So, we have the ability to trade over 60 different markets here, and we primarily trade equities on TraderTv.live. There are no options available to us on this platform, so that's out of the question, but we do have Forex trading on the platform. We do have crypto. We use IBIT and things like that, ETHA, and then we also do have futures. So here's the
on the platform.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's on the platform. It's just a matter of what we look to trade. And then here we go. This is the futures contract that we can trade right now. This is live CME Nasdaq futures. So there's that. For me, I like to trade the TQQs. So we have ability to trade the TQs, the SPY, all this kind of stuff as well. So yeah, great question. And it's not CDRs or anything like that. These are real equity positions. So when I'll take let's just say I take 1,000 shares of Apple at $200, right? And so if you go 204 times 1,000, my buying power is huge. So we all have big buying power, but I don't really look at that $204,000 number. Obviously, I don't even know why I use a calculator for that. But it's just that's what we do. We just put out.
Someone's got to use a calculator.
Yeah, I know. This calculator actually it's from if you go back to Throwback Thursday on my Instagram. And thank you, by the way. The Instagram's blowing up right now. This calendar is in the picture, and I think it was or this calendar calculator, and that picture is like 25 years old or something like that. So this is just, because, you know, we used to just, instead of now we have the ability to, there's so many websites and this, like I used to actually try to calculate how many shares I wanted to take.
This is from, we had this at our office.
Yeah, long time.
From 2005. That exact calculator was on our trading
2005.
desk from 2005.
Yeah, there you go, 20 years.
It's a 20 years. It's almost like it's a good luck charm at this point. But I got to answer this question from Martinez.
Can't believe that Tesla trade.
Hey, buddy, do you guys copy trade to your personal accounts? No. When you're trading, and again, when you're trading at a prop floor, that is the account that you're trading. You are not to trade, you know, you're not supposed to intraday trade in your personal account things that you day trade on a prop floor. Now, obviously, if I take a long-term position in Amazon on the earnings, that doesn't preclude me from taking a day trade in it, let's just say. Because like whatever, like they have nothing to do with each other, but you don't actively trade both accounts, your personal account and your prop floor account. Like that's an actual rule. So these are all, you'll hear us say things about our swing accounts and whatnot. That's just a different story from these prop accounts. But the market is blasting 1.34%. I guess we don't care about the turmoil that happened with the Labor Bureau nonsense.
Yeah.
We're getting our cut and we're happy about it, apparently.
That was funny.
It's like, I don't know. It's even if you were juicing the
I mean, he was wrong anyways. Trump was wrong. Those jobs were revised in August, not in November.
But they're revised all the time. This happens.
I know, but the 800,000 number that he was like talking about, he was saying that there was some political reasons behind it. There's political reasons behind everything, guys. I mean, come on. When you're talking about the stock market, I mean, let's go. We talked about Nancy Pelosi. We talked about sort of all of the influences that there are there, you know, in Washington. And
exactly.
What's the word I'm looking for with throw money at things like the tobacco industry?
Lobbying.
Lobbyists.
Yeah, lobbyists.
Yeah. Hello.
It's Monday.
So it's Monday, but it's an absolute great day. Yeah, you know what? I might go sans breakfast from now on. This has been a monster morning so far. And we had Figma, but we just missed it. Figma was the trade for sure. Well, the Apple's the trade for me, but Figma right there, what a trade breaking that 110. I mean, we both had it, you know, eyeballs on that, but what a move down there.
I would have never crossed that one.
No, I crossed 50 cents, and it's just I missed it.
You can't cross $2.
The order's right in there, 109.50.
Well, you can, I guess.
You know,
you can do whatever you want.
And so what we mean by that is like when the level breaks, like you see right now, so this is already a 50-cent spread. And like I said, I wasn't here on Friday. I don't know if it would have mattered. But see, like right there, now it's 80 cents. So it's just like when levels are breaking, like what's going to happen when this thing breaks a hunch?
I did miss there was a punch. I missed a similar short punch on Friday where the spread went from like instantly, someone hit the bid and the spread went from 20 cents to $1.50.
Apple is just.
Which was complete nonsense. By the way, there was just a monster. What is it? Why do I have a black candle? Oh, I think I know what's going on.
We had to pay for shorts for Figma, by the way. So just to let everybody know, some people are like, we can't get short. So it was like
6 cents? No, 2 cents maybe.
Yeah, 200 shares. I think it was $4.
Yeah.
So I only paid for 200 shares. So like
it was 6 cents on.
So I'm not trying to smash it.
6 cents last week. It's 2 cents today. It gets a little cheaper as you get past the IPOs. Robinhood just did the old dance at $100. It went to 100.5. And then did a 70-cent candle to the downside. I got out for the quick scalp at the bucks, so it went 99 to 100. I'm gonna see if we can't take another trade off of this bad boy in Robinhood. I just looked up Tesla, no mas, no breakout on Tesla, no retest of 305. So we're just gonna have to wait on Tesla. It doesn't look like it's giving us the juice that we want. Nvidia, however, bye. That just broke out. And AMD, which was on the list for the long, yeah, it didn't really give you that much into the downside, but holding that 174. Look, you've got to get into the long in AMD here. And why AMD over NVIDIA? It's just up 3% and NVIDIA's up 2%. So just tend to trade the one whichever is the strongest. And right now, it looks like it's going to be AMD. I'm going to held off for 76.
Figma's coming in.
Oh, the 100 level.
To 100 right now. So I was just trying to see like what would we want to do here? Like if we got stopped, if we get the shares and we get stopped out, you know, what do we want to do? I think $2, I think maybe worth of a risk there for Figma. So, I mean, maybe. Thing is, I feel like it's going to be like that break and fake and take and rip and shake and all that. So I don't know. Like the 110 was so clean and never even thought about retesting it. I'm not going to give it back to VWAP, that's for sure. I'm not giving an $8 move this much love there. So yeah, let's just wait to see what winds up happening here, I guess, with Figma AL. But it's coming into 100. I was thinking that move just went to 106. Like I don't want to give it that much space. So yeah, I mean, especially like I just told you, we paid for shorts there today. We just paid for 200 shares, but still, you give 200 shares $6. I mean, that's too big of a loss there. So we're not going to do that. Probably give it about $2
Plus
there.
slippage.
And not to say I'm going to take 200 shares. I'm just saying like that's the most I paid for. So if I'm going to look to average into something, that's how I would play this. Is it might break. We'll take, let's just say for argument's sake, you take 50 shares on the break, then and you have 200 available, then you might want to average into it on a fake, and then you're in a little bit of trouble if it keeps on going. Remember, like these plays have multiple days behind them. It's one of those things. So look, there's a great bounce off of 101 basically. So upside move there for FIG. All right, let's go hear a word from Neil.
Yes, sir. Give a shout out to this market move to the upside. If you want to take advantage and a savvy Canadian trader, it's a Canadian holiday. You want to look at the US, everybody. Tap into the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 with Beta Pro's 3x daily leverage ETFs with built-in FX hedging. This limits the currency swing impact while amplifying short-term market moves. Whether you're feeling bullish, bearish, these ETFs are built for active traders ready to take on the market. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing, and good luck to all the momentum traders out there. The momentum right now in the Nasdaq is absolutely furious. Tesla's still not breaking those highs. AMD going nuts. I just saw in the chat there, everyone's popping into BBAI up 10% as that's on the upside.
Okay.
This had a nice bounce off $6 on Friday, bit of a double bottom there. So shout out to all the traders looking there. I just want to go over to AMD.
BBAI.
AMD reports tomorrow after the bell. Obviously, we await NVIDIA earnings, but AMD has been on an absolute tear lately. Looking for a pullback into the pre-market high here, or VWAP. 176 on AMD is going to be the plan of action. Robinhood still looking for a second salvo. The crypto names have been bouncing rather nicely. Bitcoin's trying to get to 115. But if we don't break out the top, this is when Robinhood bounced on Friday, it went clean right through the pre-market highs and then consolidated. So this time it's not going clean through the pre-market highs yet. So I'd like it to either show me you've got love above 101, and then the second trade would be up here, or we're just gonna have to maybe look for a dip buy. This is not as strong as it was on Friday. Robinhood didn't stop like this on Friday's bounce play. It was pretty clean and just gone. Kind of like the rest of the market here. Okay. Palantir all-time high already once today.
Yep, exactly, and it's going to make it again overnight. All right, so Apple's just absolutely ripping right now, right back to those highs. We also had the Figma trade, so I'm just posting these up. Go find me at TraderTV on X or on Instagram. I pretty much just update most of these on Twitter. So yeah, we're going to do that right there. We post up some good ones, but there, yeah, Apple at highs again. We got some out on the way down. It did bounce cleanly off VWAP there. So with the market absolutely blasting, as we had Michael Noss on it, we talked about sort of sometimes missing some of those plays there. You know, that 3% dip, well recovered right now. I'm spending most of my time right here watching Figma, and there's a little bit of a bounce up there to 104. So I think it wants to take it out again, that 100 level, not again, but just take it out for the first time actually. Right now, we do understand that off the IPO right into here, there was some consolidation in and around this area, and there's 102, 103 sort of back on that day. I mean, I was sitting right at this desk, so I'm well aware of what this stock can do. It did hold 100 before. So yeah, it is a little bit of a risk spot, you know, to take this short, but we've hit it so well so far here today that I think it's worth it to put a little bit of risk into there, you know, just to see what that next trade brings for us. JP Morgan on a pullback. You know, we love these bank stocks, and we love how strong they've been lately as well. Up another 1% there for JP Morgan. We're lucky enough to get out, not lucky enough, we planned it, to get out. Wow, Apple at new highs right now. It's a face slapper right now of the day for me. But SoFi, we are able to get some out at 24, and we just zoomed out and saw SoFi last week off that huge earnings report, and it just made that move up to $25. But again, looks like we have to zoom out even further than this. There's a level up here, 24.25, that we played off All right, I'm gonna have to use e-signal. Our chart's just taking a few seconds to get going there. But anyways, SoFi right now on the move down, and you know, Robinhood, another big mover coming through soon. So we'll have to watch out to see what happens with Robinhood, but that's also down right now on the day. Taking this opportunity to get some more out of Apple up here, and yeah, then we'll just chill out and see what happens the rest of the way. So far, so good here today. You know, Figma's getting ready to break. So
Figma's getting ready to break 100. At least it was a couple of seconds ago.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it always goes. Just bounced off the 33 level. I'll take. I mean, we missed 110, and I'm not going to cross some ridiculous number here at 100. If you're watching CoreWeave and Circle, those are also falling. But if 100 breaks, it was such a big level on Thursday on the way back through. Like this opened, halted at 93, and then straight shot up to another halt. It then pulled back to exactly $100. So the gap fill is literally to the halt price at 93 if 100 breaks. So the second it breaks, I'm going to throw a stop in, probably give it to 101, something along those lines. I think there'll be some slippage in either direction here, but 100 on the bid right now in Figma and still falling. It's SSR, so it might be a second or two before it actually breaks this to the downside, and we'll see if we get the fill there.
Yeah,
hello.
It looks like it wants to get ready to break here, so I think that's going to be a good call. We're still on Apple, though I'm going to let this fly up, man. We only have 10% left of Apple. Okay, yeah, I didn't know anything about this BBAI move here. You guys, okay, yes, sir, that's a face slapper right there. You guys know where we're long this thing. We haven't bought anything recently, but I have to go to Figma. I don't know how far are you crossing down? I'm crossing down 50 cents.
I think I went to like 40, but I'm actually considering crossing further.
Yeah, okay, so let's just see what happens here. $100 coming into play for Figma right there. So, okay, here it comes. It's going to break it right now. So there it is. We are now short on FIG, and we get 50s. So right there, it is making a move down here for FIG. So let's get something out if we can, just around 99. I mean, you know, if that can happen, that'd be great. Here comes the blast right back there to the upside. So I don't know what's going on with our board, but it's not showing our positions anymore. So I'm still short right here, Figma, but there's the fake and now the rip back through 101.50 and so I'm still short right there. I assume you got stopped out. You mentioned 101 was your stop.
Yeah, I got out.
Yeah.
It broke. It gave you 99.5. It just went through 101 very cleanly. The slippage in both directions is about 40 or 50 cents. So it looks like in and out, if you punch both ways, like you're asking about an extra $1, I think, at this moment. So look, I'll wait for VWAP to take another shot at it, or we'll get back underneath 100 and I'll just go short the 100 again. The other thing is, here I'm going to do this because Figma could come right back. VWAP on Robinhood is trying to hold. I jumped out at 100 on our 99 long. If VWAP can hold, that's where I'd try to get back into this thing. But it looks like the market booming to the upside still. And yeah, we're losing volume weighted average price on Robinhood. So I guess the one long, that was about it in Hood, at least for now, Adara.
Here in Carvana and KMX, I'm seeing here, according to autonews.com, that Amazon Autos is launching a used, certified, and pre-owned online sales source here. So CVNA dropping a little bit. KMX here on watch as well. CarMax, again, Amazon Autos apparently launching sales here for used, used and certified pre-owned vehicles. Keep an eye on KMX and CVNA. Just a couple of minutes here until we get those numbers. Back to you.
Thanks, Adara, for that one. Yeah, we're going to start to, I mean, Apple is not having a hard time here. I don't think necessarily at 205 and change, but, 206 and change, but it is having some kind of a time. All right, I'm going to take advantage of this. We did take a little, we took a similar hit there. We got short at 99.50, out at 102, but then I just bought it right back, sold it right back, sorry. So now we're almost $1 in the money, trying to make a little bit. Okay, there it goes. Now we're starting to tank, so now we're back in this trade. It looks like it could be a good one. We'll see if we can get some 99 lows right now on FIG. So 99.50 is sort of where it stopped last time, and here comes the drip back in. So now we're $1.70. Now, yes, sir, there's $2 right now in the money. Let's see how far Figma wants to go to the downside right now on this play that we just stuck with, right? I mean, let's just wait to see where it goes now. But Figma, nice downside play. And again, there it is, man. There's our 110 break and 100 break. We just got filled again down there for 2 $2 and change. There goes Figma. Let's see how low can it go. Right now, $2.50 in the money on Figma. Long Apple. This has been, I mean, being a family man, obviously we talk about that all the time on the show. I love doing everything that I possibly can with the kids, especially as they're young. But boy, oh boy, do I love being here in front of all of you right now, as we're now green on Figma, green on Apple, and it's just been an absolutely big time day for these two trades. That first one was tricky for sure. You saw us make the plays right now. Okay, President Trump is talking about American Eagle Outfitter and how hot he thinks Sydney Sweeney is. So here we go. Let's wait to see what's going on right now with American Eagle Outfitter. He said that these jeans are the hottest things out there right now. I'm gonna wait for that story. Obviously, we're gonna have that now. But there it is, man. Now we're now $3, Neil, in the money on Figma. Let's go. The trade is real, and we're in this right now. $2 on Apple, $3 on Figma over there. So 2 positions over here. Let's go right now. I guess we're going to Adara.
I think so. We'll get this American Eagle story, maybe?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, for one, this post kind of ends not with a full sentence, so there could, it ends halfway through the sentence, so there could be a follow-up to this. He's basically praising Sydney Sweeney for her American Eagle ad, saying that jeans are, quote, flying off the shelves. Go get them, Sydney. He was not a fan of Jaguar's advertising. He's basically, I guess, he's saying, long story short, he's not a fan of, quote unquote, woke advertising, but he is praising these American Eagle ads. I'll pull up AEO for you guys here. This a nice push up here for AEO. Again, it is worth noting that he does end this post halfway through a sentence about Taylor Swift, the singer. So it's unclear if there's going to be a follow-up to finish this sentence. Do we have a follow-up? No, we do not yet. I'll let you guys know if he finishes that post. Back to you.
It's never a dull moment with the president. Look, as far as AEO goes, 12 and a quarter. Looks like that's your breakout spot. When we had this news before, it was essentially a dumpville. Sydney Sweeney got at it, it gapped the stock up, and that was the high in the pre-market. And all it did after that was just dump City. And it's since then 12 and a quarter looks. I don't know what this wick is in the aftermarket, but really 12 and a quarter is the open market top. If it can get through that, I think you got some serious juice, and it's already failed through one time. AMD, you've got to be kidding me. Doesn't want the volume weighted average price. AMD's going, NVIDIA's, I don't want to say gone because it's not that far yet. 3 times I had to hit enter. We kind of tagged VWAP there, but that wick, it's a 175 and a half. That was really quick there on AMD. We're going to have numbers with Adara at 10 o'clock. It's the only economic number coming through, but I don't want to wait all the way until VWAP next time. I'm going to park in front of it. Sometimes you get lucky when you have economic data where you get a big flush or rip. So hopefully there's a bit of a dip buy opportunity here. Adara? What's the number again?
We got these numbers. Oh, sorry. We have the numbers here, guys. Negative 4.8% for factory orders month over month, exactly in line with the expected print of negative 4.8%. Both of these numbers here below the previous of 8.2%. So again, in line numbers here for factory orders, but it is below the previous print. Core durable goods revised exactly in line with estimates, 0.2% versus 0.2% expected in previous. Durable goods revised slightly lower here than the previous and forecasted print, negative 9.4% versus negative 9.3% expected. Generally, these prints are in line, other than a slightly lower than expected durable goods revision print. Let's take a look here at this market. The QQQs continuing to push to the upside. Great look here for the Nasdaq, gapping up and just continuing to push a bit higher today. Here's Figma. FIG has certainly been on watch. Really strong initially on day 1 of the IPO, struggled a bit on day 2, today on day 3, breaking below that 100 level, though right now it's trying to reclaim it. Then we have AEO, American Eagle. This one was on watch, initially popped a couple weeks ago now, I guess, on the announcement that Sydney Sweeney would do a campaign with the American Eagle jeans. Now we have Donald Trump, President of the United States, just now posting on Truth Social that I guess he's a fan of this commercial and that AEO jeans are, quote, flying off the shelves since the commercial and its partnership with actress Sydney Sweeney was announced. So interesting look here. Lots of excitement in this market. As always, make sure to like and subscribe to join us every single day. We have Palantir and Hims and Hers Health earnings after the bell. Back to you.
Yeah.
Hey, relax, guy.
Could be a good one there. And this just in, DJT has put a treasury on AEO. No, that hasn't happened, but there's the move up right there, 1130 up to 1220 there for American Eagle Outfitters. And I mean, yeah, interesting story there, obviously, as, you know, I'm sure Joe Biden would or any president would be talking about ads and jeans and flying off the shelf.
It's only natural.
Again, you know, strong. We do know that retail's very strong in the United States right now. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if that's factual, right? I mean, it'd be interesting to find out that, like, yeah, these jeans aren't flying off the shelf. That would be interesting. But again, shout out to Donald Trump and his forever posting there and keeping us really excited. What's going on with DJT now that we see that kind of a play come through? Oh, by the way, I just did, I thought I had, no, I'm bidding $100 on Figma again now. So that just made the move to the upside. So I only have about a third left of what we were talking about off that first short. So, you know, it needs to come back in. If this breaks 102 again, then we will be out and be red again on the stock. So we were only green when it was down here near 99.98. So it's made a nice move back up. But for me, the trade of the day continues to be Apple. We wrote this down on the note. We talked about it. We take the trade. There goes 206, 204.50 right there. You know, the funny thing is it breaks 204.50, but then we get long down here as during the open. It was just like crazy. So our send out our market order, we wind up getting a bank error in our favor. We get 20 cents better than the price that we probably should have had. But honestly, it doesn't matter. We could have had 20 cents higher or lower on this trade. Apple never goes against us. Pretty big trade for me there today, and yeah, we're starting off August really hot fire right there, going those with Figma. We just missed the 110 area, but Palantir starting off the month fire as well. As Adara said, join Neil, whoever's doing the show. I think it's probably just you tonight in Adara going through. There goes Figma, nice downside play again. They're now finally breaking lower. Now goes Figma. There it goes. We get those fills. So we're also waiting for 98 flat. And then we're going lower. We're going 95 after that. So yeah, big day alert there. But yeah, as I was just getting over that, Palantir here into tonight. Risky. I mean, it's just kind of barcoding right now. I kind of want to stay away from it. I do understand you're up 3%. You're at all-time highs. I think as a prudent trader, I will get out of something. Maybe I'll get a 5% of what we're owning on Palantir. But so far today, man, 2 for 2, bigly right now with Apple and Figma. And then Open Door gets Nasdaq compliance. That's not really doing anything. We're talking about some broader market moves there. We have Bitcoin coming into play as well. It looks like right there, 155 right now. So nice move higher there for BTC and company. So you might want to look at an IBIT mover here there today. Nicely cooking, actually, 65 and change for IBIT. There it goes, man, up 2% right now for IBIT. So yeah, man, so far so good here today. And you know, thanks for watching. Smash that like, smash that subscribe, get involved, get into our chat right now and be part of the community. So Apple 5% left only right now. Figma about 25% left.
Yeah, Tesla's about to break out as well, as is Robinhood. Tesla 311, pre-market high is just above 311, so it's about to break out the high. Robinhood's trying to do the same thing as well. You mentioned that Bitcoin's at 115, so at least they're moving together. Bitcoin did absolutely nothing for us on Friday, but Robinhood had a fantastic day. We'll get to some other names. Whoa, hey, thank you. My quote just froze for a second there as Tesla did break. But what is going on? Okay. That just wicked me out somehow on Tesla. I didn't even hit a key. I'll try to get back in on that 311 break. That was wild. My quote froze right when 311 went. But we've been having that like intermittently. I think it's just whenever you get a big volume spike. Come on, pick me back up into the 11s and 12s if we can. I don't want to have to slip into the 20s. Give me something. Gimme. Always gets. I got to leave the order in there. Give me a break, Tesla. That was nasty. I got in and out flat for some reason. I have absolutely no idea why. Broke in and did not break underneath the prior high, which is always standard at 60s. But either way, it doesn't really matter. That breakout is ongoing on Tesla. I'll buy the first available dip that I can. At the same time, I got to move on to the next thing because Robinhood just broke out the high as well. So it's back above the 101. The difference between the two of them is Robinhood, it's more like 101 and a half. So we still want to catch VWAP on Hood. 99 already held once. Now we'll look to catch either 100 or 101.50 breaking out because the hooded one, after what I saw on Friday, what we all saw on Friday if you were looking at this stock, It did it in 2 massive legs. If it can do the same thing, even half of those moves, like it was like $6 and then $6 twice, effectively. And if we can catch that a couple times, even just half that, we'll go to the Robinhood. It's such a strong name. And crypto's looking strong as well. But Tesla, that's kind of annoying. I guess I'm taking a 312 break as well.
All right, yeah, and that's the thing, man. Trading can be frustrating sometimes, and yeah. So I just want to say right now, you know, the equity markets are now finally starting to blast a little bit higher here after Friday's big sell-off. I mean, that jobs report was not well received, naturally. Nope. But there goes the Nasdaq right now, just coming back through. Even if we just call up the Nasdaq and have a quick little look at what we're talking about here, Nasdaq, it is U25 right now as we watch out for the September contracts. So this is what it's looked like. There's the drop-off spot right there on August the 1st, and now you're going to see right here as we continue to look forward on this. You're trying to basically close that whole gap. So watch out for 23,300 right now on the Nasdaq. It looks like it's going, looks like it's going to be a good little level there for many traders to have an eye on. So we're going to watch out for 23.3, and we'll talk more about this when we get back from Adara.
Just keep an eye here on ZYXI. This is called Zynex. This is a day 2 earnings play here in a smaller cap name, market cap around $47 million. This is 41% insider owned. They did have a float here of about 17.8 million shares. Roughly 20% of that is going to be sold short. So again, this name actually sold off, as you can see here, in earnings day 1, trying to bounce on earnings day 2 with that roughly 20% short float and decent percentage insider owned. ZYXI. Back to you.
Thank you. I want to talk about Wayfair quickly too, but watch out for that 23.3. So we're at 22,240 right now, 23.3. That gap level there coming through on the Nasdaq. So yeah, thank you so much for the credibility and everything there on the chat about the trades and everything. I mean, that's what we have to do, right? If we could sit here and talk about stock, but hopefully we could put on some winners for you, like this Figma and Apple trade. I don't have Palantir yet, but just to talk about some other names that have been going through here, Wayfair, right? I mean, today gets that 10.9% move after reporting stronger than expected revenue and a rare quarterly profit once this loads up. Let's just see what we're up right now. Only up 6.5, so it has pulled back a little bit there for Wayfair, but what a nice move they've had there today. Yeah, good move over the last month and 3 months, breaking through from this 56 mark and then upside for Wayfair. It does have what you need. I mean, on Amazon's weak number, but as Neil said, it was more the AWS number there that they weren't happy with. So Wayfair and online continues to work well. I got to buy more of this name because Berkshire right here continues to go lower. And I mean, I don't know, down another, come on, charts. Right there, Berkshire down 2.5%. It's been a whoopsies moment there for Berkshire ever since right into there. That's where good old, here we go, we have a thing for this, Warren Buffett. By the way, let's go, man. We're now $2 in the money as we ride the bear on Figma. 2 for 2 today on that. So we're really happy with what we've been doing here on trades. But yeah, Berkshire, nice move down there. 4% drop in operating profit. So no one likes to hear that, and especially when there's questions about leadership and things like that. So there it goes, man. But they had a primary target tied to FX losses for Berkshire. So that's making a move down. And then on one of the semiconductors, we didn't talk about NVIDIA really too much. We had looked at AMD a bit, but on semiconductors today also came out with a Q2 number there, and they fell there on sluggish revenue demand. So yeah, not great there for on semis, as not everything is on point in this sector. There it goes down now 10% for ON. Again, congratulations if you're able to trade some of these off the bottom, but this name definitely giving it back up. And yeah, wow, Figma right now. So that's just a little bit of a quick review on some of the major market moving stories there, but Figma's getting near the lows, man. We are bidding 98.07, which is, I think, the low of the day, 98.07. So that's why we're sitting there. Let's wait to see if we can get run over and take that out. I'm going to go to 98.25. Right now. I actually didn't know. I might have made that bot. I wonder if it bounced off me because I didn't really pay attention to why I put 07. Honestly, I was surprised that was the bottom. All right, we're going to go there and see what happens now with Figma. So far, so good here.
We got a super chat from Yala Studio. I'm going to read you the note I have on COM here. COM, COMM is up 73%. It's not moving. So what's happening with COM is they're selling Amphenol. Amphenol is purchasing the connectivity and cable unit from CommScope for approximately $10.5 million. So like they're selling a portion of their business for $10.5 billion, not million. So whatever, I don't know off the top of my head what the market cap is on COM, but if they're 10.5 billion, you just check what their market cap is to see how significant it is. They're not selling their entire company or anything like that. So this isn't like some company being bought for a set cash price. It's just they're selling a portion of the business. For whatever reason, like it is moving sideways as if they were just flat out selling the company. But that's all I know about the COM deal as far as I'm concerned. So if there's anything else, I just want to make sure we get that story to you guys. It's a gap up, and I know you can see gap in volume, but not a lot after that here on COM, unfortunately. I had it on my radar, but once I saw it wasn't like a standard deal, I'm not really sure what you do with those because it doesn't really tell you anything outside of the fact that they're going to get some cash, right? So they're getting $10.5 billion in cash to do with whatever they want. Tesla, the first break at 11 obviously was good. Keystroked out of it, that'll obviously have been a mistake. The break at 12 was no good, but it's now holding that 310 level on the way back through. So maybe not VWAP, but it looks like 310 holding. The first break at the 311 pre-market high break was certainly a heck of a lot cleaner if you happen to get it. As I said, I don't know, I got in and out flat instantaneously on it, so it must have been probably a keystroke error, like probably had the wrong stop set. Robinhood, got to move on to the next. 102. Now starting to come through on Hood. Thought we'd get another dip buy in here. It gave you a long chance to get into the second push on Friday. This might be it, and we don't see the volume weighted average price. Heck, we didn't see the volume weighted average price till the close on Friday. So those prior highs at 101 could be the only place to get involved. AMD still not doing anything, but sorry. Well, it is pulling back. I looked up, it was NVIDIA I'm looking at there. I looked up, I'm like, AMD not pulling back, but it's NVIDIA that's not pulling back. So churning to the upside, NVIDIA, and I'm sitting on VWAP here-ish on AMD to try to join the party. So we wanted a dip buy on AMD, but that chip name did not come in far enough. And then I was reminded of my best stock on Friday was actually shorting Intel again. And Intel went right to, you can't make it up, essentially Friday's highs and faded. And has come up there again and faded. So if you look at Friday, it was like a clean drop from 19.5 to 50s to 19 even. Then it was a clean drop from 19.5 to about 19.15. Suffice to say, if it does it again, I probably should be involved in this. Just trying to get something in this 19.55 range, just to be able to give it to the top. You risk 5 pennies on Intel. It's just a pattern. I think at some point the stock's going to be a buy, but until it stops dipping off obvious levels, I think you got to take shots short.
Yeah, I don't know, Dara, is there news on Big Bear AI? Because right now you're up 13% as this just keeps on going. So BBAI right now, I mean, again, I'm asking Dara because she's over there and does a great job looking into these things.
There is zero news on Big Bear AI. The most recent story was the one that came out after the bell on Thursday, which you guys already read. It was another partnership. They have no news other than that. But as we all know, there's been like a huge kind of short squeeze culture lately.
We love that. Yeah, Dara and I were on the show on Thursday, and I heard Big Bear AI news in my ear, and I reported it around 4:30 or so, just as we were going off air there. But Big Bear AI right now, 31% short. Too bad to be short, honestly. I would not be short this name. That's, in my opinion, just a crazy short to be in there. Right position, right play, Big Bear AI. And we had talked about this in our swing account, just loving the fact that it actually pulled back. Like, we missed this whole move up, and we did a little bit of research in it. We know we like the stock. Then we right here flat on the show told you that we got long 5, 4, and 3, and then we gave bull cases for it, and we got some out at 650 and so, and then some at 850 live on the show. And I think I'll look to see in the account to see what we're getting through right now, and potentially tapping out of a little bit more of Big Bear AI here today, but up 13%, a great trade there. Again, on no news, but we know the sympathy on some of these running plays there today. And Open Door, not really going as much as we had hoped for. It actually, it's only half of what Big Bear AI is. And Open Door actually has that news where they did gather now, that compliance to stay on the Nasdaq after going. So once you go below $1 and you stay down there for a while, they give you a letter and it says, look, if you don't don't get back above $1, you gone right there. So they did get 12 straight days, which is what the requirement is, above $1. So part of me thinks that like that's baked into a lot of these things where they know that it has to stay above for 12 days. Yeah, so they kind of just bid it up and they support it. They get that compliance letter, and now we'll see if it does come back down. But I had this one written down, and we only have 2 trades today, and that's going to be Figma and Apple, and they're both written on here, and so is Open Door. But that one, I was looking for a $3 break to see if we could, oops, my mouse, right there, $3 to see if we really got going through that daily level, but that does not happen. So we kind of stay away from that right there. Apple was the big one for me. It's the only one that triggered, and we missed Tesla as we missed it by literally 5 cents. We wrote down, I mean, I can't make this stuff up. It's over on the sticky note here. It's on both Instagram. I want to thank everybody for the Instagram love as well. Yes, the sticky note's on Instagram now. There it is, 305 dip by long here on confidence with Elon and AI. So I just now was cleaning up the order log, and I canceled that bid. 305.50. It went to 305.56. And again, we put on a big position in Apple. So at this point, we actually had Apple long, and we're getting out of it. So I was not focused on Tesla. And if I was, I mean, whatever. If I was, it wouldn't have mattered, because I would have been like, oh, we missed it. Maybe it'll come back. Like I wasn't ready to do that. Wasn't ready to punch the long to have both Apple and there it is right there, Apple and Tesla long. So yeah, we pick our poison here. Turns out great. I mean, I'm through the moon here. I wound up making like pretty much double or so what I thought I would on this trade. Like I didn't think we would be up 2% on Apple today, but there it goes, high to the upside. And then Bitcoin, right? Stocks like Mara and Coinbase and all that continue to have a day here today as we watch out to see like, is that a bottom there in Bitcoin? We got 112, we could see that. We saw Ethereum start off the day low as well. We'll see if they can make some comebacks. But yeah, for right now, this is what the market wants to give us. So we always have to deal with that, right? And there goes Ethereum up 5%. So VERB is about to halt. So if you
remember, they're a TON treasury?
Yes, TON coin.
Yeah.
If you rewind the clock there a little bit, we talked about Ethereum as being that decent bid opportunity again there today because the strength is in this name. So crypto names generally continue to go. And it looks like today with Ethereum, oh boy, it continues to go higher up. Not a bad idea in the chat there. Maybe I should dress up as a big bear AI for Halloween. Good idea.
How does it, so, I mean, there's a few ways you could do that.
I'll just come up in a bear suit, that's all.
You just throw the words like an A and an I on there?
Oh yeah, for big bear AI. Yeah, I'd have to figure that part out. We are trying to bid out more. Figma here, $99, 99 problems. Figma today, of course, ain't one. There it goes. We get 99 right there on Figma. So far so good, man. $2 in the money on Apple, $2 in the money on Figma, and a dare at the desk.
I want to mention AEO here as well. So I noticed this, a couple minutes after Trump posted it, but I wasn't 100% sure because there are a lot of issues with True Social's platform. Now it's being circulated on social media as we get this drop here for AEO. It seems like Donald Trump actually deleted his post about Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle campaign and the success of that campaign. So that doesn't necessarily mean that he disagrees with the sentiment. There was an issue here. He spelt Sydney Sweeney's name incorrectly. That is the actress that did this ad with American Eagle, and he also, the post seemed to cut off mid-sentence, so it's kind of unclear the future of this post, if it's going to get posted again, but regardless, for now, it seems to have been deleted. That's just being circulated on social media right now. Let's start here with the IWM before we get into the small caps in particular. Russell 2000, this is a great rounded bottom on this stock, trying to push into that 217.40 area. That would be at high of day. In general, though, higher highs, higher lows for this stock across the board. There was Zynex Inc. That's one's going to be on watch here. Zynex day 2 earnings. Keep an eye on that one, recovering after selling off on Friday. CASI on watch. Kazi Pharmaceuticals announcing FDA clearance for its one of its applications for its treatment. So good look here for CASI. At day's high, Steelcase, last but not least, SES. It's actually an acquisition announcing that HNI will be acquiring the company for roughly $2.2 billion, currently trading here around $16.25. Make sure to like and subscribe as we send you back to the guys.
Thank you very much there, Adara. AEO still continue to move around. VERB did halt. TAP is 1720. Oh, check that. It's moved right back into flat. So the theoretical auction price was slightly higher. Now it's at 1704, which is more or less where it closed. I think it closed at 17, maybe 03 here. That's a distinction without a difference. So VERB with a ton, they raised money to do a ton treasury. That is obviously some kind of a token that I know absolutely nothing about. Got 0.2 and pull back in here. I think the only thing that matters is, look, you play the price action. It failed at $17 before. It's trying to hold VWAP here. I think if it can hold VWAP, you're looking a little bit better. I just believe you take profits on these when you get the opportunity. I can't think of a treasury play which is held up for more than a couple of days. That's just my 2 cents there. For sure. We got a super chat asking, Curtis was asking, Curtis Webb, what time frames are your 200 SMA average? What time frames do you use for your 200 SMA average? That's a simple moving average, 200.
Yeah.
What time frames do you put it on, I'm guessing is the question. Yeah.
200 period moving average? Yeah, so what I'm talking about on here, this is just a 1 minute chart. So thanks for the question there. The 200 period is green. So I have that on here. And I also have it on daily charts. So we can go maybe over to Apple and see that as well. And I just brought this to what we're doing here on the show because in the long-term account, I like to look at 200 period moving averages in order to find support and resistance levels. So it's always going to be green. So the pink is the 50. And I only use SMAs. I mean, I don't know. With a 1 minute chart, an EMA and an SMA is not going to give you, thank you for the question, by the way, too much. What's up, Curtis Webb? Yeah, it's going to give you roughly the same sort of action on that. So yeah, for me, it's not like a huge difference. So that's what I'm doing. They're just 1 minute charts that primarily trading off of. So there for Apple, like for example, didn't get to that level. So yeah, just a quick look at what I'm doing there. Thanks for the question, and I think it was a good one there, Curtis. So we'll always be here to answer anything you guys have for us. So yeah, good little level there on Apple and the 200 period time frames coming in right there. You know, just looking at some of these coins here today and what's going on. Pardon my my voice here as we had quite a eventful weekend. All right, so BNB, all right, so there it is right there. Bitcoin up to 115.5 right now. So that looks like it's, or 115.3. It looks like it's trying to do stuff. The last 1 hour, we've had a 2.5% move. As the market goes higher, so does Ethereum right there as well. Ripple trying to move around. XRP still at 307, so that's been a good one. Solana's been really hit, you know, over the last little while. Now down 12% on Solana. I know there's a lot of love for that name as well, but definitely getting hit right now. And then there's, that's Tron, not Ton. I guess I can find out. Let me before I go over to Daryl, let me just find out right here what Ton is doing, because I never even heard of this play today. Toncoin, there's down 5.5% right now on Toncoin. So this is what the yearly chart looks like for them. So I don't know why someone would be taking a position in this, but again, I didn't read the case. I didn't read anything about it. So Toncoin right now trying its best to hold up, but right now down 4%, only 43% down this year. Toncoin, what's up, Adara?
Well, actually, we're going to talk about Trade the Pool because VERB is moving on that Ton news, and maybe it's worth a swing. And if you're looking to swing trade, Trade the Pool swing trading programs, you can get access up to 40,000 in buying power to trade real shares and not CFDs. So you can hold positions overnight, over the weekend, and enjoy limited risk, thanks to a one-time evaluation fee and no monthly payments, no hidden costs. Take Vicente J, for example, one of Trade the Pool swing traders. Already locked in 23K in profits. His top performer was NMAX. He shorted it from April 20th to May 30th and pulled in over $6,700. Trade the Pool's giving swing traders the tools, the time, and the capital to thrive. Scan the QR code and enjoy 10% off with Trade the Pool. Shout out to Trade the Pool. Shout out to Vicente. Look, obviously swing trading is different from day trading, but a lot of the same principles. Make sure you have a risk plan, everybody out there, and good luck in all your trading success. Robinhood looks like it's trying to break the trend to the upside. But when it broke trend in the afternoon on Friday, it was a good short, and if I'm not going to get the long off the volume weighted average price, then I will simply look for that trend break in Robinhood. As we're going back to Adara, looks like we got news.
It's not news, just kind of an update. We do our crypto segment now at 11:30 a.m., so I'll provide more info on this then, but I will provide right now some info on VERB because I know you guys are asking about it with regards to Toncoin. So as Sean mentioned, Toncoin, it's not doing particularly well here on the day or the year, but with regards to why this could be good news for VERB, it is a little bit more complicated. Also, Figma here just breaking lower. I want to mention here with regards to VERB and this Toncoin purchase, according to the company's new incoming executive chairman, this has to do with the fact that Telegram is the preferred messenger for the crypto system, and apparently Toncoin powers the Telegram ecosystem. So apparently some kind of connection here between Toncoin and Telegram, which is the reason that that's a good look for this company. There's also blockchain.com member Peter Smith is going to be serving as the special advisor, so the connection to blockchain.com could also be of interest here. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Adair.
Yeah,
and
good,
VERB.
good call there. Go ahead.
Whoops. It's VERB.
Apple's at days high, Figma's at days low. So same for me.
VERB opened back up and lost. What the? Where's my? What is going on? It's VERB. Where is that? What is that stock again? It's VERB.
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 Buh. Yeah, B. Wasn't it VERB? Yeah,
Isn't it VERB?
It's VERB, yeah. Yeah, with a B. Yeah, up 70%.
Yeah, but look at my chart.
What day? What
oh,
chart
you know what? My charts are happening. Sorry. I'm having some issues with my charts. This happened on Friday as well. Like my quote is moving, but I have literally no data on my chart.
Yeah, it's 72. 70, I have it right here.
Yeah,
so,
your chart's working. Right?
By the way, $6. I mean, this is what we're talking about. We get stopped out, we get right back in on that, and then boom goes a dynamite, right? You're gonna take $1 hit, $1.50 hit on Figma, fine. If you can hold it for 6, let's see what happens right now. Positive on the name. We are bidding 95.50, so let's see you later. Here it comes in right now, $6 on that one. So, you know, a tale of two names, right? Figma downside, now down 22% and still going. Apple right now at days high and still going as well. Long 204 on Apple here, Sharif. It's at 207 right now as that continues higher and higher right there. But yeah, we'll look at VERB for you guys. We just bounced off that 205.50, sorry, 95.50 there on Figma. But yeah, here's VERB right now. It looks like it wants to do a little bit of something there, $17 and $18 right there. Good little level, maybe a holding spot there for VERB here again today. We watch out for after hours printer tonight. Palantir, the money printer just goes brr on that one as generally speaking, right now, that's not even the one I want to look at. I want to look at this one as it just dropping back in here for, there it is. We just bounced it off of us again. 95.50 here for, there it is, Figma right there. Put that on the board. That's $6 right there for Figma back in right now. We just grabbed that. What's up, Curtis Webb? You want to ask another question? No problemo right now. 200 SMA on 1 minute chart. Yeah, that's it. Oh, 305, yeah. That, so again, the 305.50 for Tesla, yeah, great question. I mean, I don't have a problem answering that. We wrote down on the sticky note 305, and again, it was just sort of looking at some possible areas of support, like right into there is 305. So we bounced off of here, it was support, it was resistance on a third Friday, and that's 305 exactly. So that's what I wrote down on here, and then I just upped it to 305.50. It had nothing to do with a technical level other than, I only trade off support and resistance and news and stuff like that, right? So Figma, easy day there at 110, easy day at 100, Tesla, easy day down there at 305. That's why we have Open Door, which never went. And again, to me, it's not rocket science. Here's Open Door right here at $3. If it breaks this $3 mark right there, I wanted to get long. It just never got going, right? Palantir, I'm not really able to find any areas of concern here for Palantir. So we weren't able to trade anything. It does get through the highs, but I didn't want to trade it through earnings tonight. So we'll still look at it. I mean, if this takes out 161.20 or whatever intraday high, then we can grab that 161.62. But for me, yeah, the SMA is just a level for support. Again, so like I'd use it on Palantir here at 158. So if this dropped in to 158, I think Palantir would be a go there. So, we did get that. Oh yeah, we did get that Figma, of course. So there it was right there. It is bouncing back upside. And then Apple right there as well, upside and huge. What a day so far there today. We have changed our daily goal now, so I'm not even gonna mention if we've made it or not. But Apple gave it to us and it was a great trade there early. other names to look at, I think Marvell breaking 77 could be a great trade as well, but we got to get up to that level first. Marvell, now, okay, I didn't even see that we got to 76.80, but that 77 level here for Marvell could be something to look at as well. And there's 77 right here. That's that dump off spot right there for Marvell. So that could be, if we cover that gap, I do like that trade as well. But yeah, I mean, it's been, again, for some of the trade ideas that I put forward today, pretty good for myself. Only in 2 trades, which you don't need to be in any more than that, right? I mean, everyone, again, trade your book, trade your style. But look at Amazon right here. I think we might throw some of these profits that we've had today into Amazon, into the long-term account. Right now, I'm buying stocks on dip. You guys know we bought Palo Alto. That hasn't worked out. I'd assume not. Right now, yeah, we bought this at 180 flat, so it's still down here at 172 and not doing too much. The biggest and the baddest of the trades, though, is Big Bear AI, up 12% today again. And you guys know that we've liked that name for a minute. Uber's in a little bit of trouble. There now through $88. We've written down $88 on Uber for a minute, and it just really hasn't come through too much. But yeah, we're gonna wait on that one. What's up with Adara?
This, I guess, now of about 7 minutes ago, but it's being circulated again on social media now. As I mentioned, it looks like Donald Trump had deleted his post about Sydney Sweeney, the actress that was in this American Eagle ad. He did spell her name wrong, and the post seemed to be unfinished. Well, now it looks like he's finished the post. He has spelled her name correctly now. Again, most of the post is the same. He's just basically praising American Eagle, saying the jeans are flying off the shelves following the ad with Sydney Sweeney. But he is basically continuing to criticize other companies that he deems having woke advertising, for example, Jaguar and Bud Light. He's also spends a lot of this post just going after Taylor Swift, saying that she's no longer hot. And by hot, he means cool. So interesting look here for American Eagle. Donald Trump back on social media today, guys. Stay tuned. CNBC also reporting that the EU is going to be delaying its planned tariffs for 6 months to allow for more trade talks here with the U.S. As we know, they did reach some kind of agreement earlier or last month, I guess. Back to you.
Yeah, like we said, never a dull moment. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is whether you're getting increased sales for AEO. Like, we'll find out next quarter how this is working out for them. The stock's flying around. It's got a bit of a short float on it, no questions asked. Just very quickly, like, I like Robinhood to the long side, but I told you if we get any kind of a mean reversion, like if it breaks the trend, we're going to take a shot at the short. It did just break a trend line from the low of the day all the way up to the top, right in here at essentially 103. It broke the trend, held at 102.50. Going to look for a playback in a pre-market highs, not VWAP, pre-market highs at about 101.5. So again, this has been such a strong name, and I do like overall what's going on in IBIT. Nice little bull flag in here in Bitcoin. You're seeing a lot of strength in crypto. Recently, ETH had been stronger than Bitcoin, and you're seeing a little bit of that today in the trend. That's why I want to look, when I look at this pullback in Robinhood, I'm not expecting it to be a home run style trade. We're just looking for that little pull to prior high here and go a little bit of an entry. The other thing that's happening is AMD and NVIDIA still holding highs, 3% on AMD and NVIDIA 2.5. That's one. Look, AMD is going to be the third missed trade opportunity. Obviously 110 on Figma was probably the biggest miss for myself. And then I had 305 on my note before we came online here. But AMD was also a look for a dip buy, but it was a little bit closer to 102. It just never got there. AMD looking super strong. They report after the bell tomorrow. There's still a lot of earnings to get through. Like, I know we only have, and we had all the Mag 7 names, but let's be real. We still have AMD. We still have NVIDIA. Those are some big ones to come on through. I do believe we also have to wait for Marvell. And someone asked me in the chat what I thought about Viking Therapeutics earnings. I don't think about Viking Therapeutics earnings because the only reason I like that stock is the potential that someone might pick them up. And we've been talking about consolidation in the pharma space. As you know, Merck made a deal. Will Pfizer make some kind of a deal? You got the patent shelf coming up for both of those names. A lot of big names coming through in between 2026 and 2028, losing some major patents. They need other revenue sources. Viking and their oral GLP-1 makes sense, I think, for a company like Pfizer. We'll see if a deal happens. So I don't really care about that company's earnings per se because they're not doing too well.
No, yeah, that's been a disaster. I mean, I haven't looked at the chart, but from what I know, a little bit of a disaster there for VTKG. Is that what it is? Something like that. Okay, just real quickly, man. There goes Apple. Now it's up 2.5%, going higher and higher and higher. I want to thank everybody for the love today, especially on Instagram. We've been showing it a little bit here as we had quite the weekend going upside again with a big win for these girls. I couldn't be more proud of them and how well they played. So shout out to High Park and everybody right there as well. There they are. Here's my daughter right here. She won MVP of one of the games, and part of the little coupon book that she got for MVP was a Chick-fil-A combo. So she went there. We got that on Saturday night, some Chick-fil-A right there. I grabbed a sandwich as well, but side salad. And then there as well, 4 stocks to trade today on Instagram. Go get those. The 4 stocks, same as what we just talked about, man. Tesla, and all the ideas are written down there with price levels as well. So go get those. They're all trades that I will make every time if they come in. So, and one of them was Apple off of that. And then the reason why I'm showing that about my daughter, because guess what, Joe? What? It don't stop, man. It don't stop. This is her right now at hockey right here, one of the youngest ones. She said, Marissa just told me that she's the only local girl. There's girls here from upstate New York and all over the place into this camp. So this is her just right here. This is the first time I'm watching this. So this is just some simple drills. 10 years old, remember? So there it goes, in and out. She makes a little mistake there. Let's see the shot. Oh, bang. Okay, so, all right. I mean, hearts up, man. I get too emotional about these things, but yeah, man, I'm diamond hands on family, and there it goes. So just another one. Take all my money as she does, but there it goes again. I already saw the Starbucks card got refilled this morning as well. So shout out to whatever drink that she's probably getting right now. But yeah, that's part of the reason why, honestly, someone said, why do I change my daily goal? Well, the trading that we've been doing lately has warranted that. You know, I think when you've got something and it's working, you want to use more shares. And when you have the confidence, you want to use more shares. And then you want to change. You want to change those goals. You know, we all have goals. When you're working out, you have a goal of reaching some sort of a plateau or a certain amount of weight, or, you know, eating right, same kind of thing. And for trading, it's the same thing. So you want to have, you know, goals where you're trying to hit. So I just changed mine up. So I put it up, and you know, it doesn't really matter. It's not like I have it. It's just like I'm happy when I get that. It's not like, oh my God, I hit my goal. It's not that. It's just like looking to make a certain amount, because I use it also for a downside protection as well. Like if I'm only making $500, $200, $100 a day, and all of a sudden you lose $2,000 on a day, you know, that sort of puts it in light that, okay, you know, my risk is too much on the downside as opposed to how much I'm taking on the upside. So now that we've used a little bit more shares on these plays, you know, our old goal can get met really quick. So it's just about trying to extend it through. And we've had some red days. It hasn't been frequent this time around. So we're going to start to up our goal. And then when things start to change a little bit for us, you guys have seen me take breakouts that haven't worked. I mean, we had that horrible trade on Starbucks. I mean, I went long. We just had our best month of the year, right? And we just went long in that month on Starbucks at 98.50. Like we were I loved this long on earnings right there, you know, but we get out, we get whacked on it, and we live to see another day. So part of everything is risk management, you know. Why is Tesla flushing? Let me see. Is it actually, I don't want to, yes. Yeah, Tesla is flushing down a little bit right now, down into 306 again. So yeah, let's watch out to see what winds up happening there for Tesla. I still kind of like that 305 area, but I've canceled that order now. So with only 20 more minutes, I'm off to the gym here very soon. We'll put a couple laps in there, but it's the Figma trade, man. It's the Apple trade. Those are my 2 big ones there today. They're the only 2 that I have. So far, so good there. And thank you for taking the time, everybody, to talk about family and look at some of the videos and whatnot, because, you know, it's my family, not yours. So I do know that can get pretty boring, but we're doing a show here. So trying to express to you that just an average guy here taking average trades and hopefully, you know, providing some enjoyment to the rest.
That's the thing. And I know we missed some super chats in there, which we're going to try and get to.
Perfect, yeah.
There was a bunch. I didn't realize we missed this many super chats because there was one before the EMA thing. To look at Rigetti for Yala Studios. I'll try to get these one by one. The QBTS had news this morning, not Rigetti. So I think I'm fairly certain, and again, I haven't looked at Rigetti till now. I know there was a story on QBTS. Maybe that's why Rigetti's up 10% after this ridiculous move to the upside. That's all I can give you. I don't know a specific story here on Rigetti, but 10% and what looks like a trend break happening. Oh, I have to put my drawing. Oh, that's right, because I closed my charts. Looks like a trend break to the upside on Rigetti. It looks very bullish to me. I like QBTS a little bit more, but then I'd just be talking up my own book. You're just in a resistance spot up here, which makes some sense that you see some selling underneath the 16 level. And we did have another super chat from Glaze. Is Joe the only one who trades options, or do you, Neil and Katina Man, if you do, use the same key levels? I only trade equity here. I think we talked about that before.
No, I mean it's in personal accounts, I think.
Oh, in the personal accounts, yeah. I've sold covered calls. That's about it. That's the only use I have options in my long-term account. I'll sell covered calls sometimes on my long positions. And the Dan Zone, are you able to read my missed super chat? I didn't see it. The Dan, oh, here it is. Oh, did you get the Apple one?
No.
No.
I didn't get any of those super chats.
All right, let's go to the Dara and we'll come back and give you a chance to look at this Apple one because it was addressed to you.
What a green market. There are a few exceptions, but we'll start with the positives. Electronic technology and technology services, both bright green here. AMD up 3%, Palantir up 3.5%. Both of these names are going to be reporting earnings coming later this week. Palantir tonight, AMD after the bell tomorrow. Then we have Boeing. This one down about 1.3%. We have some fighter jet employees announcing that they are going to be going on strike as of today. Finance, all green with the exception of Berkshire Hathaway, the largest component in this sector. They did have earnings that were not particularly well received. Producer manufacturing strong, consumer services strong, utilities strong, transportation, consumer durables, process industries, health services, commercial services, non-energy minerals, all looking great. Retail trade generally pretty good here with the exception of Amazon trading to the downside once again on day 2 earnings. Health technology a little bit more mixed with Eli Lilly notably down 1%. They report earnings later this week. Make sure to like and subscribe as we send you back to Sean and Neil.
Yeah, so I don't see, just to go back to Rigetti, I don't see a story on Rigetti. I'm going to assume it's making a move based on, well, it could be the market's bouncing high. I know QBTS had the news, so I'm guessing it's just some kind of a sympathy to the benchmark upgrading or reiterating a buy on D-Wave, which is, they unveiled some open source toolkit. So that's the one that I thought would move a little bit better, but hey, they move they move in step. A lot of times. And what's crazy is, they have a story, they're up 3.5%. Rigetti doesn't have one, it's up 10%. Could have a little bit to do with the short seller. Oh, shoot, I thought I cleaned this.
Yeah, no, there's all this dust on here.
Yeah, it's one of those. When they're painting the black on the roof, like we have to come in and clean our desk off every single time as I look to see if my elbows, not you'd be able to tell, but you can tell it on the shirt or if you wipe it down in here. But that's the cost of the studio upgrade, everybody. At the end of the day, it's going to look so amazing, but it's a process. It's a process that we're doing our best to sort of power on through and dealing with it. The only thing, like I said, the only new trade I got into was Robinhood. I just want to zoom out to give you a second idea why I'm not waiting for VWAP here. Friday, it bounced off. Well, it had resistance at 101.50. Which was also like the Thursday low. So on the way back, that's where I'm looking for this thing to hold, right around that 101.5. Because I do like the long better in Robinhood. So if it does get down here, I'll be looking to enter a long at some point for a bounce play on the hooded one.
The hooded one, that's an interesting name for sure. Tesla's at 305 right now. Okay, well, Figma, we're still waiting for that one. Yeah, so good look on that, obviously, and thanks for posting that up to us right now. Look, the Nasdaq's trying to pull back a little bit. We've been loving on Tesla pretty much all day here today, and then it brought to our attention that this has made that move down in, and I do have this on the sticky note. But remember, these sticky note plays, like, it's hard enough to predict what's going to happen right off the open, let alone what's going to happen 2 hours into the market. So I'm going to stay away. Obviously, they're not loving Tesla as much as I thought the market would have, and you can see that quite clearly right now as Tesla making that move back in. Still up 1%, but I liked it right off the open. So that's the thing about trading and spidey senses and having the ability to do that. For right now, look, it's bouncing off 205, it looks like, or is it? I mean, I don't know. We haven't even really tested 305, sorry, on Tesla. So I'm just going to leave it for now. I don't want to throw anything away here today. You know, we just got out some more Apple at the highs right now at come on, man. Apple to be $3. We're $8 in the money in total right now, but for Apple to have made that move upside, we recently bought some more of this in and around 212, so that's also out of the money. So some of my swing trades right now, well, they're not swing trades, by the way. Apple is long-term trade. I don't, we're going to just let that go. The fact that they outsold and they outpaced themselves, that's great. We'll just wait for that China story and then it'll be up 5 or 6%, I hope, and then we won't be worried about the price that we got. But yeah, right now, Apple trying to go back there to the upside. Thank you so much for everybody in the chat, all the kind words, again, going through. So yeah, Tesla's going to be really, really interesting. One to look at. CoreWeave, we can have a quick look over there. This is the first time ever, I think I said that last week, so maybe the second time ever that I haven't looked at NVIDIA or AMD, but CoreWeave also trying to tick near the lows. I mean, this might be a great little bottom break. That's not CoreWeave is not $100. Oh, CoreWeave is $100 right now. Oh, wow, okay. I thought the CoreWeave home would be around here. It looks like we have danced around 100 to 105. I thought this was still the Figma chart for a second. Obviously, Figma doesn't have that many days in it, but the $100 price target. But right into there, yeah, what about a break of CoreWeave of 100? That could also be something down there. So let's spend some time maybe looking at that. We don't have a lunch menu today, but we'll talk about what we're going to be hopefully getting for lunch around here.
But what are you getting? I have no idea.
I don't know. I'll probably try to grab like a bowl of something somewhere. There's different. I had that from Aroma. I had that bowl, salad bowl last time. It was pretty useful.
I know. Yeah, that looked good. There's a place. There's like a kind of a brunch place that's right here.
Viva. Yeah, Viva. Adair and I get from there all the time.
They have lots of great stuff.
They have great sandwiches, man. Great BLTs.
I've eaten in there a couple times. I've never actually done any takeaway. I'm considering, but then I want to.
They have great takeout.
I want to go for a walk. Mostly because
go
I'm just recovering from a hammy, so I want to make sure that I'm like loosening it up and not sitting too much. So I might just go for a long walk and then pick up something that
something that catches your eye.
It's like whatever. I'll just walk around. If I catch my eye, I'm a hungry dude, so if something catches my eye, I'll probably just grab that. We'll see. It's a ridiculously nice day outside. So as far as I'm concerned, it's really nice outside.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I want to take advantage of that during lunchtime.
Happy holiday to all our Canadians out there.
It's just it's the dumbest holiday ever, though.
Why?
Well, just give it something. Give it a name.
It is a civic holiday.
Civic holiday.
Yeah.
It's lame. That's lame.
I'll say you don't like the name.
That's lame. Like there's always something that you could make it. You just give it an actual holiday. There's always something.
We don't have Juneteenth, so this is kind of a makeup for that. Yeah. Not for that holiday, but gives us an extra one there in June in the U.S.
Give it a real name, though.
Yeah.
Give it a name.
Yeah, give it a name.
Really quickly, before we get to Money Talks, I want to mention INV. This company is called InVenture. I need to let you guys know there is very little volume on this, under 100,000 shares traded right now, and it is halted. But this does have a pretty big catalyst. One of its subsidiaries here, Celsius, apparently posted this on their LinkedIn. I did check, and it is an actual post. So after the company's subsidiary posted in their LinkedIn that they're part of the NVIDIA Inception program, this stock did get a pop. Again, it is currently halted. Very little volume, but INV could be on watch here. Let's take a look at the US dollar. Here is the daily chart. This is, to be fair, massive drop here on Friday, but it is worth noting we're kind of breaking out of that downtrend. We had this steady downtrend from the start of the year, complete with a double top around that 110 level, lower highs, lower lows. We broke below that 100 decisively, making a bit of a bottom here around 96.5. That's going back to July 1st. And now since then, we've had higher highs, higher lows. Could this uptrend finally be back for the DXY? Well, it might be too early to say. That 100 rejection level not looking great, but as of right now, until we get a lower low back below that most recent support level of 97.1, looks like we could have a little bit of temporary reprieve for the US dollar, at least on this wider time frame. Back to you.
Thank you, Dara. And actually bouncing, trending down all morning, but bouncing. The yield on the 10-year hit 4.2. That's good for the market. No questions asked. One thing to watch here is yields if we get up to this 4.26, that could be like one spot where, hey, we get a little bit of a reversal. You get a move back to the upside in here. Ooh, AMD just tagged VWAP. Let's go over to AMD, because obviously that just bounced off the volume weighted average. That was right quick. Robinhood went from at the money to 60 pennies in the money, and AMD went from 60 pennies from VWAP to at VWAP very, very
There's some news in the market
Something
here,
obviously.
because Apple's making a little bit of
Yeah, like I have my stop underneath. Look, my stop is underneath VWAP in here, which should be obvious, but I might take advantage of this. If we don't, like that candle on Robinhood, if that doesn't result in it pushing to the downside right quick, that's a big reversal candle. We should be getting underneath 102, and if we're not, then I should jump out of this trade. Let's go to Adair, see what just happened.
As is often the case when the market gets a random spike to the downside around this time, we did have a new post from Trump on Truth Social as of about 46 seconds ago. It has to do with India and oil. And I quote, India is not only buying massive amounts of Russian oil, they are then, for much of the oil produced, selling it on the open market for big profits. He talks a little bit here about the war in Ukraine between Russia and Ukraine, talking about the Russian war machine, then ends with, because of this, I will be substantially raising the tariff paid by India to the U.S. Thank you for your attention to this matter, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, President DJT. So keep an eye here on oil. I'll let you guys know if we actually get a number on the Indian tariff increase because he does not specify. But apparently, long story short, Donald Trump will be, quote, substantially raising the tariff that India will be paying the U.S. Back to you.
All right, so obviously that's not going to be good for Apple because they do have a lot of production there in India. So it's not like, you know, you move over to India to try to save some tariffs, and then all of a sudden it's like slap more tariffs because of some sort of an oil situation. So yeah, not great, needless to say. So yeah, pay attention here as some India moves. INDA is the India ETF. So
they were really creative with that.
There it is right there. Yeah, very creative. There it is. Nice move to the downside. 52 and change. Actually, not even down that much. So only down 0.4. So take that for what it's worth right now on INDA. And this is why we don't worry too much about Tesla and the levels, again, that we talk about, because there it goes, right? Tesla, you know, I don't know if it sniffed out this India story. I don't know if there's any production. I don't think there's any production in India with Tesla, but nice downside move right there for TSLA. So we did not get involved in Tesla at all. But you're in Robinhood and AMD, and I've still got these two trades from the open. But just to let you guys know, we got out more Apple when it came back up here, and now we're just getting it out right now. Might as well. We have less than 3% left now of Apple. We only have 5 more minutes left, so we're clearing it all out here into the midday show. And then I'll be back around 2 p.m. and we'll talk again about some more trade opportunities. But yeah, Tesla might even break 3 bills, actually.
Oh, it could. So it broke 300 on Friday. But it's still, like, it broke it, but the buying was still at that price level, if that makes sense to everybody. Like, Tesla bought big time through the 300 level. It just took a break to 98, and then you got a huge reversal. So I think, like, it's not like on, what was the day? It was like the 24th, where it was very, very clean off 300. I suspect even if there's going to be a bounce, it might be like Friday, where you're looking for some kind of a mean reversion or just let it break the level, let the buyer start to emerge, as opposed to thinking an even dollar level is going to hold on Tesla. The breakout, the 11 breakout got to 12, the 12 breakout failed. But yeah, this market, we're not liking this India story too much. Because AMD, there was a nice little relief rally. So it was this volume spike in here, like it was off VWAP and at about 176.70, and VWAP's at 76, and then it was instantly back into the bid. It then came back up to the $0.50, and now we're consolidating. I don't wonder if that's the kind of thing that can turn us, if it turns us southbound. The name that I probably missed out on Friday, Intel was a very good short again, at about 19.5. I don't know if it wants to give the top. On Friday, it gave you a second chance, trend breaking, right around 1945, and you could just give it 5 pennies. It doesn't seem like it wants to give us that. So I'm going to take the VWAP short here on Intel. It's that hole. It tries to break the high, doesn't, shorted at the volume weighted average price play, just to get into this one. Because I want some exposure to the sell side that isn't Robinhood. I wanted an actual weak name, not a strong one.
Yeah, I'm just getting out of this Apple. Well, now it's back up, so okay. I mean, as soon as I was like, yeah, I don't like it anymore, it just goes right back up to, so we got another 207 fill right there again as well. Look, I mean, today, the big story, the Nasdaq now up 1.4% and really rebounding into today again on, good tariff news. 70% of the tariff deals apparently now are done. So that's going to be good. And we just get that bad news now about India, but the market's still trying to hold up there. So regaining more than 2/3 of Friday's losses. We actually talked about that key NASDAQ level of 23.3 NQ forward U. And we'll just have a quick little look at we don't want the E-mini. Well, we want the E-minis, not the micros. So there it is right there, trying to regain that level. So a little bit more work required to get that, but we'll see if it comes in right there as well. Tesla did have that rally spot there again off of the open on news that Elon Musk has received the 96 million shares. I mean, I wonder, because there's really no news about Tesla, I don't think Elon's in there and selling any of his shares, but that's a nice move to the downside. I mean, we've only done 31 million shares there today, and I think he'd have to file something to do that. So we'll wait to see if that ever happens. I don't know, maybe needs to get money to put it towards XAI or something like that. No idea what that's happening with Tesla, but that is a nice move down and trying to go red. So like Tesla, with the market being up 1.4%, it was leading the pack basically up there into 312 before falling back now into 3 bills. So that's going to be something interesting to look at. We got some huge moves down in Figma today as well. Wayfair came out with a good report, and they gave you what you needed, up 10% right now on Wayfair, better than expected revenues as well over there. The INDA, Berkshire, INDA is the India, INDA is the India ETF, so we're going to look over there. That is on NYSE American. So if you are trading here with Real Trading, the best prop firm in the world, then you want to use AM for that one. And it does look like it is making a move down right there, INDA. So check that out on that recent news from Trump and oil. Adara, probably at Trader TV Research, maybe has something about that as well. So go check out that for sure. And yeah, other than that, it's been a pretty busy day. To me, Berkshire, I think this is one that I'm going to look at what that quarterly number looked like. And I don't think it looked very well, as right now we watch out for Berkshire making huge moves downside
They
today.
took a big write-off on their
Forex.
on Heinz. Well, write-off of Forex, okay. And then their Heinz position.
There are no other kinds.
There aren't.
Yeah.
It's a great brand, but the stock has been doing pretty poorly in their portfolio.
Apparently my daughter just did a gorilla chest punching sort of celebration. So that's very interesting.
Get it.
I wish that was on camera.
Well, things you can't capture every single moment, but I do like that. So I do pound the chest, everybody.
I found out about that.
I'm going to get to why I like that in a quick little second.
Minute and a half left.
Robinhood gave us, I don't know, about like 40 pennies, but I'm going to get out. I thought we were only going to 101.5, so it did hold on to half of it. So it'll be, like the short will be a flat trade. The long still, I guess, the better opportunity off the bottom there at 99. I don't know if we get VWAP, but I'm looking VWAP long if we can catch it on the hooded one. In the same way we're getting a pullback on AMD, bouncing off the volume weighted average price. I'd look for the same thing in Robinhood. The reason I like the bang on the chest,
yeah,
because if you're in a track and field, Noah Lyles likes to talk a lot of trash.
Yeah, I know who he is.
And he essentially, it's a U.S. trial. These guys are teammates, and they're probably on the relay together. But he won the 200 and literally stared down the guy who beat him last year.
Right. Nice.
He stared him down while winning, and then he gets into his lane and he forces Benderek to kind of shove him in the back just to get him out of his way. And so I guess he didn't realize it was his fault why he needed to be shoved in the back. So he turns around and gets in his face and is like yapping at him.
When was this at?
This is the U.S. trial.
Like how long ago was
it? It was just like over the weekend.
Over the weekend. Oh, okay.
Which is wild. Like you guys are teammates.
Check that out.
Which is what's crazy in track in the U.S. line. They're like, yes, you're all running for the USA. But flat out, they are not like they're like individuals. Like
they went to different schools and they have different. Yeah, exactly.
It's so competitive there. A dude ran 984 and missed the team. 984 and missed. It's like a top 8 this year and didn't even make the team. Trevor Bromell. It was absolute nonsense how competitive it gets in the U.S. But there's the guy. He knows how to sell the sport, and then I'm not a huge Noah Lyles fan, but track track needs more of him to generate interest.
Yeah.
I tell like it is because I think track is a great sport and not a lot of people watch it, and you probably need more Noah Lyles to get people to watch.
Probably.
But at the end of the day, it's one of those things you don't expect teammates to be bumping each other at nationals and talking trash. After coming 1-2, you're about to represent your country. Like, be happy.
They're going to be teammates, right?
Yeah, they're going to run the relay together.
Right,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
What is that about? Anyways, let's go. Gonna have to see where we grab some lunch, everybody. But I know we'll be back at 2 o'clock. For now, you've got Joey Options, you've got Sharif. And what's on Sharif's t-shirt?
Mo Salah.
Oh, it is it's Mo Salah.
Mo Salah, Rooney.
Down the wing, Salah, la, la,
Oh, we're
la.
on, man?
The
This guy-
Egyptian king, boom! Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. I don't like hearing myself echoing there. Welcome to the Midday Show. That right there is your boy Joey Options, and I am Sharif. Where are my people at? We got Black Hawk in the chat, but he's the only person there in the chat except for you and myself, Joey. So we're gonna have to wait till you. I know, yeah, you and myself.
There.
So we're gonna have to wait. There we go. Now we got Matthew. We got
that's
fun with